Oh my goodness, friendlies. What a week it's been so far. And it ain't gonna stop on poor Jess. I hope you can hear me. Um I just spent 2 hours on a Teams call, and Teams did not like my microphone or my headphones, so I had to restart my computer. That was embarrassing since I happen to be the chairperson of the of the governing board that the meeting was about. Anyways, so after that meeting was over, I ran upstairs, stuffed some food in my mouth, grabbed my drinks, and came on downstairs so that I could say, "Hey there, friendlies, how's up? Welcome to the 20th of February edition of my fabulous live stream, where we talk with beverages, we talk with blades, and we usually talk about bushcraft. If you are in fact listening to us time shifted to tomorrow or next week or next month or next year or next century, thanks for your eyes. Thanks for the comments that you sometimes drop down below. Thanks for hanging with me even after the fact, even after you cannot participate. Oh, I did it wrong in the side chat. That's right over here. And yeah, if you love what's happening, smiley thumb is great. If you hate what's happening, frowny thumb works just as well. And if you'd like to take a more active role in keeping the lights on around here, and appreciating it when I'm actually on time, then I invite you to check out the join button down below. Click on that and you'll see what the 2 tiers of membership are, as well as what each tier gets you for your hard-earned money. Now, I'm going to see who's been chitting and chatting while I've been trying to get on here. I'm getting a bit of buzz, and I'm hoping it's not coming through too heavy. If I'd noticed the buzz before today, I would have worked hard to fix it. I think I might know what's going on, but I don't have time to fix it right now. There's a new shelving unit here, and a lot of it's metal, and I'm thinking that maybe I didn't wire the mic properly to keep it away from all the metal or something. I don't know, so I'll mess with it in time for the next meeting. Next week. So I'm just going to scroll back and say hi to those who are with us. There we go. Channel Hero Raspberry Rock, which is Russell, saying he's going to join super early again tonight. It's too bad you didn't join at 9. Then one of us would have been online on time. Christy likes that. Christy, who is also a channel Hero, is saying hi to me. Grace. Always a good night with Grace in the house. We got Mark Davidson, who's also a channel hero. How's it going, Mark? How are you doing? Hope you're not too cold on this night of nights. Christy is saying it is he going to be late? Yes, he was. Country boy trapped in the city. Did I get a text from you or Yes, I did. I will mute it so that. Can I show this, country boy? Let me know if I can share it. Wow, stunning work, dude. Absolutely stunning work. I love it. Everyone's saying hi. Destiny, channel hero Destiny, saying, "Oh no, Destiny's not a channel hero anymore. What the heck? Were you never a channel hero? Why you gotta be hating, Destiny? Can someone play the harmonica if Jess is late?" I know a guy who bought a one-way ticket to Austria and had to play harmonica on the street to get the money for his ticket home. This was obviously not in recent years, because there's no way you could afford that or be let in with a one-way ticket. Russell is being classy again, I see. Yikes. Hold on, I'm just seeing who's with us. And it's, oh, there we go. There's somebody new. There's, well, not new, but I mean, there's a new name in the side chat. David Evans, channel hero, channel mod. Known for dropping the hammer when people get out of line. Everyone's just sort of saying hi. Well, okay, so by the time we're, sorry, folks, I'm trying to, oh, there's Beto. How's it going, Beto? How are things where you are? How's the weather? You know, while I'm doing this, shall we maybe do a little beer pour here? While I'm scrolling and scrolling and scrolling, trying to catch up. It takes me time because I don't want to miss anyone. I don't want to like just scroll blithely past somebody. So if I do miss you in the saying of the hellos, then be sure to be like, yo, man, what? Country Boy saying, I think the I might be late is now and I will be late. Yes, it absolutely was. It absolutely was. There was a lot that had to be done tonight. We had to do the budget building process for our school. Oh, I forgot to show you what it is. I've had this with you before. Salted caramel stout. Hold on, right in front of my face. Salted caramel stout. It says série limitée, but I mean, I've been able to buy this with no problems. I don't know if it's all that limited. Might be some marketing at work here. Did I blow the pour? Nope. You know what? I should have done the pour like right next to the mic. Done a little beer pour ASMR for you. Excuse me. Oh, there's me. And David is doing the God's good works, telling everyone to hit that thumbs up or it'll hurt my little feelings. Hey, look who's here. Serge is late, but he's early. Yeah, I know. You home from Cuba, or are you joining us from the tropics? Well, David, I think that depends on whether or not it's a self-lube job. Okay, I'm not going there tonight. No way. Nuh-uh. Country Boy says, no thumbs up for me until the man himself shows up. The man is here. The man is here. That's a really good beer. I don't think I would like it as much if it got warm, though. Russell appreciates David's questions. Those two together are quite the show. David says, 9 thumbs up at 17 watching. What the heck, people? I would reload my my YouTube page, but I'm afraid I might, blow something. Hey, there's Long's Quest. Click. Come on, boo. Click. Hey, look. I got me a new mouse. I don't love it. It's too small, but I'm hoping that it's a lot better than this stupid thing. New mouse night. It only arrived yesterday. I'm all excited. Got a new mouse. Grace says you should have grabbed a stash of cheese for later. You'll wish you had. Yeah, in fact, I haven't had supper yet, and I made boeuf bourguignon for supper tonight. So I'm really kind of bummed that I have not been able to eat this supper. Destiny says no buzz. Interesting. So maybe the buzz is coming through my headphones. I don't know. I guess I'm about to find out. Whoops. Oh, no, I can't hear the dulcet tones of my own voice. Shite. I don't know. Hey, Carol's there. How's it going, Carol? I hope you're staying warm tonight. I don't know who... Like, if you live near me, it's kind of a chilly night, but... Like, I don't... Because the weather is so messed up, like... the people I know in Florida are like, oh my God, it's so cold right now. So I don't know. I hope everyone's nice and warm. Serge approves of the pour. Thank you, Serge. No, this one doesn't. I think that's like a Guinness company exclusive, right? What's got the CO2 ball in it? Guinness does. Kilkenny. Is that it? Smithwick's doesn't, right? Okay, Serge is home from Cuba. I hope you had a fabulous time. I saw that you were going to bring home some bottles. David says, I think it means you change your own oil. Destiny says, caramel salé. Hey, where is the accent aigu on the keyboard? That depends. If you're using a PC, it's stupid. But if you're using a Mac, it's Option E and then E. Oh, is it Control E and then E? Hold on. Yeah. Option E. E. If you're using Windows, then you got to figure out the ISO code or some damn thing. Boddington's Bodding. Huh. Okay. Country boy. Sorry, my computer was messing up and I didn't see you there. I hope the computer is okay now, country boy. So, country boy, did you answer me? Can I show that belt to the peeps if I mute the sound? I do like a leather belt. My tastes go much more towards like the lighter, the tan and stuff. But that doesn't fit with everything the way a nice black or dark leather belt does. Christy says she thinks that Boddington's has a has the little what do they call that thing? That little CO2 insert thing? I don't know. I have no idea what it's called. But yeah, so I don't really know what to talk about tonight. This week has been so nuts so far. I mean, I know I say that and it's only Tuesday, but the weekend was crazy as well, and just stuff, you know, stuff. One thing I did want to bring up, I did a post about this on my Facebook or my YouTube. I think it was on YouTube, in the community tab thing, whatever it's called. Joe Robinette just put out a new video for the first time in God knows how long. And I'm saying this, and I posted that because of the fact that some of you guys were wondering about that during the last live stream, like what happened to Joe. Well, he's put out a video kind of explaining, you know, where he's been, and it's interesting because so many like big ticket YouTubers are stepping away a little bit, or taking a little bit of a break, or just moving on to something else, or changing their role with their channels if there's someone, you know, who's got people who work for them and all that stuff. So it was interesting to see that, you know, even Joe Robinette was like, been away, life kind of got in the way a little bit, you know. But anyways, he's back now, and he says that he's got sort of the wind in his sails again, which is nice. I mean, things went a little sideways for him for a little while there, right? Like after his brother died and everything. So I certainly don't blame him for, you know, anything that transpired after that. Oh, hey, Hike with Mike and the Head. How's it going, Mike? You cold? How's the weather down there? I have in-laws in Miami who are like, it's so cold, it's 51 degrees. And I'm like, dude. I'm sorry. I had a seed stuck in my teeth. I'm like, dude, 51 degrees is hot. Well, 51 degrees Canadian is hot anyway. Like, deathly hot. Country did not hear me ask, oh, computer screwed up. Yes, you can. The belt isn't that red. It's more brown with a red background. Okay. Camera just highlights the red. Okay. So I'm going to... Yeah, it doesn't show your actual name. Okay. Look at that. So nice. So nice. Look at all that work. Love it. I'm so impressed by work like that. Absolutely. Yeah, that's what I'm saying. It's like it was interesting, like how the synchronicity happened there. It sounds to a certain extent like he wants to take it back to basics a little bit. You know, a lot of YouTubers go through this thing where they get known for one kind of video, and at one point they kind of feel like they've been there, done that, and they try to branch out, and the numbers don't follow them. The same is kind of true of like even guys on TV. Like I keep thinking, I mean, this doesn't, occupy my every waking moment, but I have on several opinions thought about that series that Les Stroud did where he was like hunting Bigfoot. And I will admit I didn't watch it. And if it wasn't like satire, then I don't respect it. But I can see where these creators, YouTube, TV, whatever, there's a certain pressure there to keep it fresh, right? To keep sort of bringing something new to the table. But there's always going to be a segment of their audience that just wants to see them do the stuff that, like, I just want Wrangler Star to go back to fixing up axes, talking about tools. I massively don't like the sort of angry right, the angry religious right thing that he's on now. Whether it's because his mind didn't survive COVID, or if it's because he realizes that there's a market there for it. I just want him to be back at basics, because I loved his stuff when he was talking about wildland firefighting, restoring axes, replacing a door on his house. The stuff that I fell in love with that channel, and there's a lot of people who feel the same way about Joe. Like they just wanted to see Joe go to the woods, build a little semi-permanent shelter, and cook a steak, pet his dog, canoe, fish for supper. And why is he suddenly going to the Yukon or the Northwest Territories? Why is he in a float plane? I like that kind of content. I didn't have a problem with that. But I guess it didn't work for everyone, because the eyes didn't seem to follow him on that. And that's tragic, because that guy was trying to push it in a way that was still on brand. The way the Les Stroud Bigfoot thing was like, wait, what? I mean, that confused me and it pissed me off. Whereas Joe's attempts to make it more interesting and keep it fresh didn't trash his longtime fans in any way. And I'm not saying that Les was like dissing his fans. I'm saying that like the Bigfoot thing felt very off-brand. And maybe it's not. Maybe like he's always been like, I so believe in Bigfoot, but he's never been comfortable talking about it before. Okay, fine. In that case, all the power to you. I'm still not going to watch it. But I liked seeing, man, you could tell that Joe was excited about going to the Northwest Territories, or going like doing big, cool things. Anyway, I don't want to bore you guys with like deep diving on this or anything, but I was a little disappointed when Joe said that the eyes just weren't there. So let's, yeah, Christy says that belt, that was a verbal typo. That belt is beautiful. Yep, he does good work, and he's humble about it, but he does good work. David likes it too. Destiny likes it as well. Mark likes it. It's because you guys are all people of rare taste. Country boy. I did it again. Less the Bigfoot hunter. That soured me completely. Yeah, me too. David, Wrangler Star's an idiot. I think so too. Like I was already not comfortable when they were doing their live stream, like Bible studies and stuff. But, you know, I just didn't watch that stuff. Grace likes the belt as well. Destiny says there's a lot to be said about the YouTube presenter too. If I like the presenter, then I'll watch, even if the content is repetitive. I can see why some make millions. Yeah, absolutely. Yeah. Destiny says, no offense, but I dislike the fear mongering in some social media content creators. I can watch the news if I want. They're shot, scared out of me. Yeah. Seems like a couple of them have really gone off the deep end too. There's a guy I used to watch. I'm just wondering if I should go down this road, but like I've already started the sentence. There's a guy I used to watch called Funky Prepper, and he was a prepper, but it was like this kind of goofy, cheerful guy and everything. And he changed partners, I mean life partners. And the new woman he's with now, he went through some lifestyle changes, some of which are fine. Like I think he became vegan, which is a bold choice, and I love the energy. But I would not want to have to put that much work into what I eat. But also, like he sort of started going deep, you know, like, was it dark web, deep state, blah, blah, this, blah, blah, that. I'm not interested in watching that. I'm not. I have a job where I needed to go through a very invasive security clearance process. So the last thing I want to do when I'm not at work is watch people go off the rails about sometimes purely imaginary crap or be completely wrong about stuff that isn't completely imaginary. Country boy used to love Wrangler Star. He just went a little too, yeah. Yeah, Country boy, I agree with you. Like when he's too right for the righties, he's gone too far off the deep end. You know. Destiny, I can just try to eat some blue cheese. Hike Mike says, I miss the channel Intense Angler. He was the first channel I subbed to. Great channel, but he disappeared for a while due to stuff in life that happens to all of us. Glad he's back. In that case, I'm glad he's back too. The first bushcraft YouTube channel I subscribed to, I think Wrangler Star. No, he's not bushcraft, but he was part of me discovering the homestead / outdoor / prep bushcraft side of YouTube. The first channel I subscribed to was, what's his name? The guy was like full on missionary, but it rarely came into his YouTube work. What was his name? He was a French Canadian guy. Hold on, I'm seeing if I still have him listed as one of my, as someone I subscribe to. RDB Faves, Joe Robinette, Paul Bakima, Dribs and Drums, My Self-Reliance, Raspberry Rock, Ben and Lois Orford, Sean and Alaska. No, I guess I took him off because he stopped making for a while there. Oh well, what the hell was his name? And he has, I think, a Filipino wife, Josie. Oh, what was his name? I don't remember. That's too bad. Country Boy says, watch the news with a grain of salt. It's not as bad as they want you to believe. There's a source out there that I wish I could remember, but they have this quadrant system, and they're nonpartisan. And what they do is they follow the science. They place news sources along the quadrant of how balanced versus left versus right, etc. Their voice is, like how skewed their coverage is and stuff like that. And it's I really wish I could remember who did this, because it's been like a couple of years since I looked at it, but it's fascinating. I mean, some of the stuff is like completely non-surprising, right? Like Fox is an entertainment company. It's not a news producer. CNN, there are issues there as well, you know. And then there are like, but you know, when you get to the BBC, it's a little more skewed. It's not bad, but it's a little more skewed than you want a fundamentally national broadcaster to be. CBC, it's a little more skewed than you want your national broadcaster to be. It's not. It's lightly skewed, and to the surprise of many, it's actually skewed right rather than left. But then, like in Canada, I believe it was CTV is the closest to the center. Like, wait, what? CTV? Why? What? How'd that happen? Kind of thing. But a lot of the skewing of mainstream media is actually the product of a few companies buying up everything, and then kind of needing the oligarchs at the top of these companies, you know, and needing the news not to take them down all the time, you know. But yeah, at the end of the day, you should always take a grain of salt with any media that you consume. Anything, absolutely. Wrangler started chopping wood in his bare feet. I've never even seen that. Really? Are you being funny, or has he actually done that? I have no idea what that means, but I don't know where Nine Toes is. Does anyone know where Nine Toes is tonight? Country Boy is asking if he's ever watched Tenkara Addict. Is Tenkara kind of fishing? Oh, okay. So he, currently Nine Toes is watching Warrior on Netflix. Okay. I mean, I guess that's better than what I'm actually. It probably is. I stay mellow on my channel. Like I always say, the mellow fellow has few troubles. And I try to stay as mellow as possible too. Like every now and again, I say something that's a little more political than I'm comfortable being online. In fact, tonight is probably part of that. And then I sort of regret it and I step away from it a little bit. Hold on a second. There's the answer, David. Yes. Oh, I'm so glad you're here. Yes, it was Bushcraft Bartons. Bushcraft Bartons was the first bushcraft channel I subscribed to. I wish that guy well. I am not of the cloth the way he is. Actually, he's not of the cloth. He's not Catholic. He's some kind of Baptist, or I don't know, some sort of something evangelical. But like, it was a new world for me because I was someone who'd always been into the outdoors but never even knew what the hell bushcraft was. And I discovered Bushcraft Bartons and Ray Mears in the same week. And you guys know, because I say it ad nauseam, but Ray Mears is audio-visual comfort food for me. I rewatch his stuff over and over and over. In the same way, more so actually even than I watch Dick Prenicky over and over, or Bill Mason over and over. Which reminds me, I gotta watch a Bill Mason film again soon. I watch that stuff over and over because it gets me where I live, And Bushcraft Bartons, I will always kind of have a warm spot for, because he was the first bushcraft channel for me, and because he could share it with his wife. I don't want to go too far down that line of discourse, but guys who can share it with their wife, that's really special. Treasure that. But yeah, so thanks. That's exactly who I was thinking about. Yeah, I had the same reaction, country boy. I was like, what? But the fact is, we always bring our own eyes to it when we watch something, anything, right? I mean, and as I said, I haven't looked at this thing in a couple of years, so it's possible that they've been bought and rejigged. But we always see a news outlet that doesn't completely align with our worldview as being completely fake news and all this blah, blah, blah. And I don't know if that's something that's been long-term or if it's just been kind of part of the more recent happenings that we all sort of start to see. Like, we all look at the world from, we sort of clear off the pane of glass and look outside our own little echo chambers, and any news that we don't agree with, it sounds like they're shouting from the other side of a canyon. And I agree with you that we need to take all that stuff with a grain of salt. We need to calm down, and we need to realize that because look, I know people who work at the CBC, right, on screen and off, and I know people who used to work at some of the radio stations that Bell is closing. And at the end of the day, these people are just doing a job, Destiny says, I like the quirky presenters. The ones have quotable quotes, like a camp stuff and a hurricane lantern and a red-headed stepchild. I wonder who said that. I wouldn't know. I have no idea. Probably somebody who's still putting up videos. Destiny, as I say, the media wags the dog. Yeah, to a certain extent. It's not as bad as we think. Well, in some cases it is, but in general, it's not as bad as we think, because we see it all as like one huge swamp. And at the end of the day, it's more like a marsh. It's not all goop and glop and alligators. Hey, Shawnee's here. How's it going? As I don't want to go too far down the media thing, because I mean, that's what my degree's in, and for some reason media talk is political these days. Meh. And I find politics boring. Sean in Alaska in the house. How's it going? I think Sean. Okay, this is the last thing I'll say about it. The biggest thing, because I remember. I don't remember. Never mind. I thought I remember, but I don't. The biggest thing you got to remember is that a lot of news companies aren't selling left or right or whatever. What they're looking for is drama, because drama will sell way more advertising dollars than left or right slant ever will, right? So if like Nature puts out a report that says blah, then the news will grab that and say it's and cast it as though it said blah blah, rather than blah. It's blah blah. The more disastrous it sounds, the better. I mean, look at how many headlines across the board are like big disaster, and then when you actually read the article, sometimes the lead is buried, right? It's like big disaster could happen kind of thing. And I'm just pulling an example out of the ether here. But I mean, that's what you got to remember, is that with some companies like Fox or CNN or Breitbart especially, it's like these have specific political slants, but the vast majority of them just want to be as exciting as possible so that you will read their stuff. It's about marketing and sales. It's not about politics for the vast majority of them. Russell's like, oh, Sean's here. Good. Grace got an ad. Oh, shite. Yes. I mean, gosh, yes, because it's 21:49 and they're supposed to go every half hour. Who else got an ad? Serge. Yeah. Destiny. Okay. Hi, Mike says, I remember my very first video I uploaded on my channel was coming across an eastern diamondback rattlesnake so many years ago. Well, that must have been interesting. How close did you get? Shawnee has asked a question of Dave. Up north to 60, is it even cold where you are these days? I think I asked that the same thing a couple of weeks ago. David Evans, the first off-grid channel I started watching was Boss of the Swamp. That guy was fun to watch at the beginning, but ended up getting too much tin hatty for me. Yeah, I have no need for the tin hat or aluminum thing. Oh, you're making tacos. I do love tacos. We eat a lot of fish tacos because I live with girls who love fish. But I'll eat pretty much any kind of taco, fish, beef. Did I tell you guys about the gin tasting I went to last week? My wife got us tickets to a gin tasting held at the Institut de Tourisme et d'Hôtellerie du Québec. What that is it's a hotellerie and tourism school. It has a cooking school, and they do this regular series of like there's one for gin, there's one for whiskey, there's one for, there are ones for wine. And what you do is that night, so we went to the gin one. It's $120 per person, and there's 4 gins that you taste, 4 local Quebec gins, because it's done in conjunction with the SAQ, which is the Quebec Liquor Commission or whatever they're the agency of blah. And so 4 local gins, you taste them, you make a cocktail with them, and they do. And one of the chefs who teaches at the cooking school, the Culinary Academy, creates a dish that goes with those flavors. And so I ate 2 things that I really don't like, but because I wanted to see how the flavors went with the booze. First was oysters, which I hate. Nothing about the taste, it's the texture. I always feel like I'm eating snot, which is why that was only the second time I've ever had an oyster. And there was like one of the cocktails went with like a duck confit salad, which was delish. One of them went with Dave, what's agneau in English? Is that lamb or is that no, veau is a baby cow and agneau is a baby sheep. Am I right? The entire evening was in French. They don't do anything in English because they're run by the Quebec government. So, like, there isn't even an English. Anything run by the Quebec government doesn't even have an English name, right? So they'll be playing an advert on English radio in English, and then this message was brought to you by the Gouvernement du Québec. So whatever agneau is, I think it's a lamb. And then for the dessert, it was like he had candied up a bunch of salmon. And of course, they knew beforehand that I can't eat salmon. So I ended up with more duck, which works for me. Why am I talking about this? It had something to do with what Dave said about tacos. Making tacos for supper. I like any tacos, beef, fish. Never mind. Russell likes tacos. It's been mild, minus 19 this evening. That's, we've been at like minus 10. So the fact that we're within 9 degrees of where you live, that sucks for you, dude. Yeah. In fact, yesterday we had snow melting. I was working. I was sitting upstairs and I was working, and I heard these, every now and then this rumble of snow falling off my roof. I was like, really? Destiny says, I love Cecilia Blomdahl's channel. Not really bushcraft, but the extreme snowmobile maneuvers as they make to get their off-grid hunt cabins is amazing. Hey, Jim's here. Howdy, driving. What about the rest of you? I like hearing about these channels that were like somebody's first or somebody's early favorite. I like that. I mean, what are the rest of you like? Do you remember what your first outdoorsy sub was? Serge, I believe that almost everything is getting politicized. You can't get away from it. Yeah, but you got to try. You got to try. I have a family that has had a lot of members of parliament or members of the National Assembly in it, and you can't get sucked into that crap. You can't. I miss news coverage in the 70s. It was News Now. It was News. Now News has too many celebrity and salacious stuff. Won't really lose. Oh yeah, I don't care about celebrity news at all. At all. I just don't care. Country Boy got an ad as well. We're at 21:55, so there should be. I set it so that they're every half hour, because what I found before was that people were getting ads like at weird times, and I figure if everyone loses, like if the ad happens at the same time for everyone, then that's fine. Now here's the problem though. So I have it set every half hour, but there's like. I'm just trying to figure out. I'm taking a look at my footage here, and I don't even know how long the delay is between what I'm saying and what you guys are seeing. But I just reloaded the page by accident, and now I've got an ad. But like the concept is solid, right? Oh, it's 9:30, so I'll say. And now for a word from our sponsor or something like that. And I'll just take a break until the ad plays. But I don't necessarily see an ad every time. You guys don't all see an ad every time. And what's 9:30 like now for me speaking, it might be 9:31 for YouTube. So like so I don't know how to play it. I just don't. Right? Like, in fact, this is perfect, right? Country Boy got an ad, but David didn't. Damn it, YouTube. How am I supposed to do this? The only storms that were named were hurricanes. The Weather Channel figured out that if they named winter storms, they could get away with more viewers via the drama. Yeah, absolutely. Hey, look who's here. Whiskey Harbor's in the house. Good day, eh? Just taking a look. Everyone's saying hi. Because Mike says Canadians probably don't have to deal with the Taylor Swift stuff like it for them. Yeah, she's huge here too. She's huge. I didn't care about her showing up on screen at football games because I have a daughter who plays basketball, so I see celebrities in the stands on screen all the time. So didn't care about that. Apparently I should eat more fish. Probably. I think that here's the thing. The fish I can eat are not the ones that have all the omega-3s in them, right? Like I can eat the white fish. Yay. The boring fish. And the fish that's sort of the nutritional lightweight compared to stuff like salmon and trout and all the sort of the red or pinkier fish. Sean in Alaska says, I see you there, Russell. You waiting for like 10 o'clock exactly to come on? Is that what's happening? We have beer dinners at our local brewery like that. Of course, paired with 5 beers for maybe $60. Nice. Serge says, Veau is baby cow and agneau is lamb. Yeah, okay, so that's it.
There we go. Can you hear me?
Yep, totally can. Hi, good. Mike says, Andrew Lee, Cajun word, pork. Andrew Lee. Maybe. Here's the thing. Cajun is like Louisiana French. and it's got some other stuff mixed in with it. Sean, Russell has beer.
I'm not drinking it, but I have it. Hey, just can I interrupt for a sec?
Yeah, sure.
I think I know what you need to do for your ad problem. I believe in YouTube, the YouTube live stream dashboard that you get that you probably never use because you do this all through StreamYard.
Yeah.
I believe there's an option there for manual ad placement. So you could say, hey, there's going to be an ad like right now. So come back in 2 minutes, and then you click it and it plays the ad.
And that puts the ad there.
So you just have to set your reminder on your phone or whatever for like 9:59 or 9:30 or whatever.
But because I'm coming at it through StreamYard.
Well, you should still have a dashboard. So if you go through YouTube Studio and then go to your content, live stream, something, you should still be able to pull up a dashboard.
I'll look into it for next week because it would definitely it would definitely clean up the experience.
Yeah.
David is eating cheese, by the way, Russell.
I have cheese.
Just wanted to be here. Now, Destiny says that cheese is its own food group. So
I wonder how many different cheeses there are out there. There's got to be 100, 200, 500. I bought cranberry goat cheese.
Yeah, I bought that before. I prefer the fine herb.
And I've never seen it before, and I would normally never buy goat cheese, but it looks so good. You want to see it?
Oh, I like goat cheese. I just don't love cranberry. Yeah, sure, bring it out. Hi, good. Mike says my first sub was Campfire Steve, but he is in about half of my videos anyway. Have I even done one collab? No, I haven't even done a single collab. Russell was sick when I was out to visit him last time, so no collab there.
I was on the couch every day. Here you go. So you can see the cranberry and then the cheese. It's almost like it's the goat cheese is wrapped in cranberry. So it just looks so good. And I saw it there and I was like, I can see this in my mouth.
Yeah. Yeah. But I like goat cheese though. You just spread that on some toast.
It's easy peel too. Yeah, I'm looking forward to having that. I'll say
easy peasy goat cheese squeezy.
Maybe I'll have some tonight.
Christy says, "Don't you need to pour your dram?" You know what? I brought out the blue because I thought Al was going to be here.
Late on the dram.
And he's not here, so I should have brought something else out.
Late on the dram. Well, go get some.
Okay, be funny for a minute.
I can't be funny on demand.
You totally can. Come on.
Funny is
the faith. I believe in you.
Funny's in the moment. Oh yeah, let me think
have a moment.
By the way, in my next video, you're going to see how I can't say. I was at No Frills today in Belleville, and I can't stand that you have to always have a quarter for the shopping carts. I really can't stand it. But anyway, I found that if you just take out your, this is going to be in my next video. If you have your multi-tool on you, and everybody should, you can just grab the quarter and pull it out of the slot. So if you forget your quarter, just find somebody who's returning their cart and say, hey, can I take your cart? And they'll say, oh, do you have a quarter? Do you have a quarter? Yeah, here it is. Here's your quarter. Perfect. And then the good thing is you just leave your cart there for the next person. They don't have to have a quarter. You're not like shirking anything. Like, it's not like you're paying a quarter. You're just loaning them a quarter. Anyway, you get your quarter back. There you go. That's life tips with Russell. You missed it. Oh, my first sub might have been sailing. What is it? Nicknean? Or Nicknean Organic. Single malt. Turn your mic on.
I was about to tell you about it, and then I realized that I was muted. This was a gift from my wife on Valentine's.
Did I pronounce it correctly?
Nicknean? Yeah. ASMR.
Nicely done.
It's whiskey. So, this is big pour. This is very floral, very herbaceous. Let me see. Is there a write-up on it anywhere? Made by nature, not by rules. Light, fruity, delicious. Say it. Nicnean. Drink it as you like. Our favorite. Our favorite. Whiskey 6 to what? Whiskey 6, 2 parts Nicnean. Oh, it's called a Whiskey 6. 2 parts Nicnean, 4 parts soda over ice with a mint sprig. Organic Scottish barley, 100% renewable energy. Oh, and it's 100% recycled bottle. Net zero carbon emissions. But, I mean, whatever. It's very floral. It's got some sweet notes to it, too. And I'm still finishing my beer. So I'm going to let it air a little bit. It's a very summery whiskey. Very meadow-like. Country Boy says Wooded Beardsman was the one that sticks out for me. I don't like him, but it was a video of him and his brother building a tiny log cabin. Okay. Yeah, I don't know, Russell. I don't think it'll let you know like what was the first one you subscribed to.
I gotta think, when I first started watching YouTube, I was watching sailing videos.
Yeah.
That's what we want to do. We wanted to retire and buy a sailboat and travel the world.
Oh yeah, I used to dream of owning a sailboat. In fact, I wanted a catamaran and just live on it.
I was never a catamaran guy. I was always a monohull.
As long as it's got sails on it, I'm probably going to love it. Okay. As long as it's got sails on it and it's perfectly French built, I'll probably love it. Destiny says cheese is a gateway drug to mashed potatoes. You know, if you do it right, you've got both in one dish. Okay, so Sean says to Country Boy, that was one I watched to start too. I liked his brother more than him. Oh, what's
Kevin.
up with this guy? Wooded Beardsman.
Well, he built a cabin, but Wooded Beardsman generally is a catch and kill videos, right? He traps or he shoots something and then he cooks it and he eats it. But his brother Kevin is like a just wildly genius guy. He just builds stuff.
Okay.
He's pretty cool. I don't watch. I'm subscribed to him, but I don't watch him.
But you don't watch anything, right? I remember that. Just needs to do a whiskey and cheese pairing. I should one night do a whiskey and cheese. Oh well, David doesn't care about a YouTube ads. He's got YouTube Premium. Okay, so
to go.
Destiny and David think I should do a whiskey and cheese pairing one night. Yeah. Okay. So check this out. Sean Alaska. Chris is cool. Beardsman is a narcissistic, arrogant little twit.
Isn't his name Chris?
I think what he means is his brother. Bearded's
Kevin.
Beardsman's brother is cool. I don't know.
I thought his brother's name was Kevin.
Look at this. Christy says, yeah, I like his brother better too. Chris has some weird videos, and I like Kevin's building talents. So she's with you on the Chris versus Kevin.
The naming.
So Sean Alaska had fish for supper. White fish prepared in a pressure container with an olive and egg dressing. Oh, you had a tuna sandwich. Okay. Wait. Well, I can't eat olives, so.
I was sure that was going to have salmon in it, but.
Yeah. So that option is still available. Yes, I saw it in YouTube Studio, but I didn't know how to work it. And from what I'm getting from what Russell said, it's because I'm using StreamYard that I can't figure it out instead of streaming from the YouTube app or the YouTube site or whatever the hell they call it. The YouTubes. Hey, off-grid recon in the house in Boston this week. I was just talking about Boston today. I haven't been to Boston in like 30 years, but I think it's such a cool town. Destiny is telling Russell that the cranberry cheese is going to taste delish. I agree. Up north. Oh, look at this. Really Big Monkey 1. That guy is a treat. I love that guy. I'm wondering if Wrangler Barn is actually Wrangler Star or if there's actually a Wrangler Barn. Ray Mears. 5x5. Kundra. Nut and Fancy. Oh, yeah, Nut and Fancy. Right. Dave Canterbury. Bushcraft Bartons. Yeah. Sigma 3 Survival. So those were some of your OG channels back in the day. I think Really Big Monkey is still putting stuff out, right? Yeah, I still watch Dave Canterbury as well. But is Bushcraft Barton still putting us up? Because I thought I saw a video or a Instagram or something where he said he wasn't really going to be doing YouTube anymore. Am I wrong about that? Am I misremembering? Misremembering? Jim's first sub was sailing as well.
Nothing fancy. I haven't heard that a long time.
Yeah, I haven't watched Nothing Fancy in a long time. Ian says, "Who steals shopping carts in Belleville of all places?" I don't know.
I wasn't stealing shopping carts. I just hate the whole you have to have a stupid quarter. I don't carry change. I don't do anything with change.
I don't carry money at all.
Like it drives me around the bend. Like you got to keep a quarter in your car, and then you know when you're in shopping, you put it in your pocket. You forget to leave it in your car, and the next time you don't have a quarter.
Yeah. Jim says Nanjo, but I don't know if that's a channel or if that's an autocorrect. David says that I should do a review. Oh, is this from when I was showing the whiskey?
Yeah, I think so.
Yeah, because I was at 10:04 and we're at 10:10. I'm almost caught up, guys. Country Boy's giving me tasting notes. Middle C, F sharp, A minor.
Middle C.
That's a keyboard. That's a keyboard thing. I play bass guitar. Sean Alaska poured one. Sean, that's going to be Tullamore Do. Am I correct? Am I right?
Where's middle C on a guitar?
Yeah, I don't know. Off-Grid Recon says, first bushcraft sub for me was Joe Robinette. Found a bunch since then. Yeah, I kind of feel that I was late to Joe Robinette. Like, I think I've only been following him for about 5 years. 4 or 5 years. David Evans is asking Sean Alaska, did you say your wood stove was a Vermont casting vigilant? Vermont casting makes nice stoves. If you got yourself a Vermont casting, then that's cool. Sean Alaska says, I found him because all I was looking for when I started was cabin builds. That's how I found Russell. Him and Sean James. Sean James also. I mean, I've told you guys why I subbed to Sean James.
Oh God! If you tell the tape measure story again, I'm gonna barf.
No, I'm not gonna do it.
Okay.
Grace says Jim and Ted Baird were the first channels that she subbed to. Found Joe a little after. Those guys are great too. I was late to them as well. No, you can still get it, I believe. I use StreamYard as well. I will let you know if it works. Yes, Sean, definitely ping me. Because if I can make that work, then that is fabulous.
Well, is there somewhere on the screen here that says put an ad in right now?
No.
Okay.
That's a new layout. That's edit layout. No, nothing. Christy.
We saw those.
That's still there. See, now I got to go find a kitten. I mean, couldn't you at least set a pigeon? They're easier to find.
a pigeon, or actually, it should be a squirrel.
A squirrel. Yeah, because I haven't actually seen a pigeon around here in ages either. So Christy found Sean through Russell, and Russell through My Silver Lions. Russell, I think I found you through Quebec Homestead.
I found you first, actually.
Did you?
Yeah.
But was it through her?
I messaged Mallory when it was a Tuesday. I messaged Mallory and said, "What's going on? I'm bored." She said, "Well, Jess is live." So I joined your live stream and thought, okay, well, I got nothing better to do.
So damn impressed by my veracity, by the quality of my presentation, by my my eloquence, my I'm such a good guy.
I was trying to
Grace
think
says
of words, but
words are easy. It's making them make sense. That's the hard part. Grace says, I've been binging really big monkey lately. Old videos, always entertaining. Yeah, he's I don't know. He just seems like a positive type of guy. You're doing good work there, Russell.
doing the deed.
25 whole cents. What does that mean?
It's for the shopping carts.
Oh,
It's
right.
And you get your 25 cents back, so it's not a big deal. It's just that you always have to have a quarter in your car. You always got to know where your quarter is.
Yeah. Okay. You've just answered a question that I've been wondering about. Because I know that Cody used to have a Jeep parts lot or store, and so I was wondering if it was if that had been called Wrangler Star, because I suddenly made the connection of Wrangler and Jeep. But if you're saying that it was Wrangler Barn, then that makes sense, because he sort of said that he had a Jeep parts retail of some sort. Interesting. One thing that's really cool is he showed a brand that one of his fans had made for him, and so that's the brand that he uses. Like whenever he did an axe, he would brand the wood handle. I mean, it's because his, it's just a star, right? It's easy to be simple. Could you imagine trying to make a wood brand of my logo without a CNC machine?
You'd have to. I don't. What's the art word for make a simple rendering in black and white kind of thing?
Yeah. Then.
What was he correct about?
That is Tullamore that he's having. Oh, which reminds me. Maybe I should drink some of this.
You should drink it.
Very floral, kind of a rose water. Behind that, vanilla butterscotch. That's because of American oak, like bourbon barrel. Very nice. Light, but not too light. Like it's not without body. It's got a freshness to it, kind of a meadow element. Malty. There's a graininess, like grainy as in like cereals, not grainy as in sharpen up this picture, dude. There's a fruit, a green apple. Definitely green apple. Slight pear note. It smells refreshing. It's an early spring day. Slight breeze. Yeah.
Man walks past. He just paid his bills.
You never get images like that when you're nosing something?
Yeah. He's gonna later buy flowers for his wife. I get that all the time.
That's so good. The appleness is middle C green apple, B flat lemon drop, F sharp, honey, something slightly cakey. It's very good. Sean met Mallory on a channel where we were both mods.
That's got to be mine, right?
It's got to be. I knew this part that David found me through you. Hey, look who's here, homie Omi.
Hey, Omi.
What's good? By which I mean, did you buy anything cool? Homie, man. I want to see pictures from when you hit the woods and you start using all these cool things and like you're, I don't know, cooking bacon over a fire. Just keep sending me photos because I'm really pulling for you. I think it's going to be.
Is it going to be like that Asian chick in that video where he's got 100 things and they'll look brand new?
Oh. No, because his stuff is useful.
Oh no! Well, sorry, I didn't mean that his stuff isn't useful. I just thought
No, I know. I'm just being a brat about her. David says, and you know what? Now I'm feeling guilty because I actually enjoy those videos as well. I mean,
And she dropped her steak in the dirt twice.
and then she's
each side.
Yeah, but she still ate it, right? She still consumed it.
Yeah. She looked like she wouldn't, but
I just, you know, I love those videos because like some of the stuff that they've gotten, like, what? I didn't know they could, you know, they made stuff like that. But I think I said this already, that there's a certain ASMR aspect to them almost because they don't talk to the camera all the time like I do. And I love channels where they're not just blah, 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 blah all the time, where they're just doing the thing. And they might speak here and there. There might be a little touch of voiceover if they really need it. But I like just watching stuff happen. Victoria outside is the same, right? She's in the Ukraine. She's got some cool equipment too. But yeah, these channels, I think, receive a lot of gifts, right? Because, you know, the brand name shows up a lot. You know what I'm saying?
There's such a tendency to want to talk about everything you're doing.
Mm-hmm.
I think it's instinctive too. We want to teach other people stuff.
Yeah. I did want to sort of mention what David says because he's never been impressed by any of the Wrangler Star videos.
This is going to take a while, right?
You want me to just talk while you see him out of it? What are you drinking, by the way?
Scotch.
Yeah, I know Scotch, but which one?
The red.
What did he say?
The red.
The red. Okay, the red. David, I won't say that I was impressed by any of Wrangler Star's videos because I don't know. I like the low-key element, the low-key aspect of his older videos where he was just working with tools or working out on the land. You know, he wasn't doing Bible study. He wasn't talking this sort of hard-line stuff that he does now. I just enjoyed sort of the quiet rural life aspect of a lot of the stuff he used to do. I'm not anti-boomstick, but I have never watched his boomstick videos. I don't care. Never watched his dirt bike videos. Don't care. You know, it's about when I'm watching bushcraft videos, I have a very narrow interest, I find, which is why, like, if it's a video of someone who's like, you know, stripping down to a bikini for views, I don't bother. I don't even click on the thumbnail kind of thing. And like what I'm looking for, slightly preppery sometimes, especially if it's like about first aid kits or ration packs or stuff like that. But I don't like tinfoil hat stuff. I don't like anything political. I just don't like anything. Okay, that's it. I just don't like anything. Don't like anybody. Don't like anything. Don't like the universe. Moving right along. Sean says, wait, if organic whiskey is aged in regular barrels, are the barrels organic? Well, the thing is, they don't tend to... Are you just being funny? Or do you want me to engage with this question? Christy also found me through... I find that the vast majority of those of you who come in for the Tuesday night live streams found me through either Mallory or Russell. Some people showed up after I've like been watching them for a while and dropped comments on their lives and stuff, which is really cool. I love that. But there's a lot of you who know me because of Russell or Mallory. Oh, Sean says no. It was for Mapleberry Farms. I don't know Mapleberry Farms at all. I have no idea what that is. Did you get cheese?
Yeah, cut up some of this. Cut off a slice of this goat cheese and cranberry. just gonna eat it like this.
Well, I spread it on some toast. All right. I mean, I love goat cheese. I love goat cheese. So.
That's interesting.
Oh no, Romeo's broke. Sorry to hear that. That's okay. That's fine. Okay,
fine.
he's gonna send pics. Yeah, I can't wait to see some stuff. Oh, David says he's gonna buy that knife that we talked about last week. Okay, let me know when you get that home. Send some pics. I want to see it.
Which one was that?
It was a folder, and of course, folders are really awkward in Canada right now. But he's in Florida, so Dennis is here. How's it going, Dennis? Oh, did I just peek?
You've been kind of peeking quite a bit, I think.
Yeah, I don't know what's going on. I felt like I've been peeking more than I'm totally peeking. Holy crap, dude! How's that? Can you hear me?
Better. Yep.
Okay. All right. I thought I was peeking, but no, he's right. I'll rub dirt on everything first. I like it when tools start to look really used. I don't like my tools to stay brand new looking for long. Sean Alaskan says, yes, a Vermont Castings Vigilant wood stove. Those are nice. How did you you get that used or brand new? I feel like I've been missing some Sean videos lately.
And how big is the glass door on it?
I know of Vermont Castings through Wrangler Star. Because he had a Vermont Castings.
Fuck.
Don't waste the cheese. Now, Wrangler Star also, I think he swapped out the Vermont castings for, or maybe it was the Vermont. Somebody makes a wood stove with soapstone panels, top and sides. And he said that it sort of takes a little bit longer for the stove to really heat up, but that the heat it gives off is much, much better once it is heated up. Guys, Russell eating cheese in front of me like this is driving me crazy.
I dropped it on the floor.
Oh, no. It's okay. 45-second rule.
It's not around here.
David, no, I know. I'm just being a brat. David says to Sean that I could not find that model on the Vermont Castings website. Castings. I will take a look for it too, though, just because I want to see it. Oh, it's an older one. So you got it used? Older models were very efficient, but nothing like the newer ones are. Yeah, I agree with David on this. You're going to love that stove. You're absolutely. If you don't love a Vermont castings, right? Let's see about that. Okay, castings. Everything I have ever read tells me that if you don't love that stove, then there's no order in the universe. Yeah, okay, so Sean, yes, whiskey does get... Okay. Whiskey with no added color gets its color and some flavor from the barrel aging. But some whiskey has caramel color added. Stuff like, Macallan, Glenfiddich, Johnny Walker. They add the caramel coloring. BELMORE. Like all the ones that are really mass market, they add caramel coloring because they want to blend to the same color profile across the board. But whiskey that is unchill filtered and uncolored, well, this is 46%, so it should be unchill filtered. But I don't see anything about that anywhere. Biologique. Oh, okay. So there's a sticker on for the French. But whiskey that does not have caramel coloring, 100% of the coloring of the whiskey comes from the time it's spent in the barrel. Whiskey that that is either finished or aged in like a sherry barrel, you'll get some sherry notes, of course, but it'll also tend to be quite dark, especially as first fill. But yeah, so like if this is non-caramel colored, Which, I mean, if they're going to go through the trouble of making it organic, then they can't have caramel coloring in it. There's no freaking way. I was about to use a different F word, but I stopped myself at the last second.
Here are the people, Jess.
Yeah, of course. But yeah, so like a lot of the color, and so like something that comes from a bourbon barrel will have like a vanilla or a caramel note to it for sure. Something that comes from sherry will have sort of dark fruit flavors and smells, as well as a darker color. Stuff like that. So yeah, you're absolutely right. The barrel has a massive effect.
This is effing delicious, Jess.
I am absolutely sure of it.
Nice.
I love goat cheese. I shall endeavor to only pour myself one more dram tonight if I have another one.
It's like liquid gold.
Mm-hmm. Oh, Dennis just stepped in time to watch us sniffing our drinks, doing the tasting notes.
Cheers.
David says that new wood stoves are like 96% efficient with reburning the off gas. So that tells me that there is a case to be made for like, because look, I've talked about this a lot, especially you guys who are OG members. You've heard me talk about this too much. So I'll just say there may not necessarily be. I started that sentence completely wrong. It may not be completely necessary for Montreal to have an absolute permanent ban on burning wood. Like maybe what they should have done was the legislation should be, you have to have a stove that is within a certain number of years old as of now. Because if it's 96% efficient with the reburning and everything, then you're solving a lot of the problem. And that means I could have a wood stove. God damn it. Like, okay, ban the fireplace. But if this stat that David Evans is showing is true, then, keep telling you, Jess, to watch Looks on Bushcraft. Yes, and I keep not marking it down and then I forget later. But right now, I have a notebook and I have a pen.
Go, Jess, go. Go, Jess, go. David, are you any closer to choosing a wood stove? I know we're jumping in.
He wants a Vermont castings because they're hot. He's currently
you just read that one.
I wasn't finished. I was writing down Looks on Bushcraft. He makes some awesome structures and is currently remodeling a home too that looks like a death trap, but it's so beautiful now. Okay, that I will check out.
Well, stop by closing your live stream.
To get me back for that time, I did the same thing to yours. I did that by accident, and I felt really dumb about it. I mean,
yeah, when I do it, it'll be by accident as well.
Of course. I mean, as far as I feel anything, I'm pretty dead inside. Glass on both doors. It has 2 doors. Yeah.
Silent cry in there.
Yeah.
Not quite so silent.
Is this how late I am? 45 seconds is a lot of dog hair. Yes. Grace, and bourbon is always done in absolute virgin oak barrels. You cannot age bourbon in non-new oak, but it doesn't even have to be a barrel. Bourbon only has to touch brand new oak. You can pour it into an oak box and empty the box into bottles. I mean, unless it's like there's bonded, there's straight, and all that stuff. There's all kinds of different rules, but yeah.
Some people like their cheese on a bed of dog hair. Not me. And other things.
Yeah. David says all wood stoves now sold in the U.S. are EPA approved.
You know what's funny is my wood stove is so old, it's not approved by anybody.
It's approved by me because I would love to have a wood stove.
Does it not? I mean, it doesn't. It doesn't even have a company name. It just doesn't. Well, I guess it's a numbered company in Ontario, but that's it. That's all it does.
It's a numbered?
Yeah.
Sean says Jotul or Jodel or whatever. So it makes it. Look that up.
That was delicious.
Mm-hmm. I knew you weren't. I knew you weren't going to regret that.
They're so good though, Jess.
I gotta have some cheese later. Cheese and nuts. So David is still doing his research. A lot of different makes and models, and all wood stoves are hot. Yeah, I know. New stoves have catalytic converters for crying out loud. How much cleaner does it need to be? I didn't know they had catalytic converters, but I mean, that's my point too. Like once you get the stove up to a certain amount of a certain efficiency rating, do you really need to ban the freaking things?
I guess I don't understand the math or the physics or the engineering or something, but your off gas is not the same as smoke that's coming out of there, right?
Yeah, that's true.
Like you're still putting crap in the air. 96% efficient just means you're not losing some of the good burning gas that's coming off the wood, right?
So what you're saying is that reburning the gas doesn't mean reducing the fine particulate matter?
Yeah, the smoke, the whatever it is.
Okay, so maybe you're right then. Maybe I'm completely wrong about that. Like, I'm just salty because I want a wood stove, and the thing is, I understand why they're banned. I get it. As someone with asthma, I will probably live longer for it, but I like the smell and the look and the feel of burning wood, you know? Taber Snooch, that's the wrong one. Serge says, fun fact, the rum distillery I visited in Cuba uses whiskey barrels from Canada to age their rum. That does not surprise me because they sure as hell can't get bourbon barrels. You know, I mean, it's the same. Like Canada does a lot of business with Cuba. You know, we buy Cuban cigars by the ton. We ship them our buses and stuff. I have sent an entire box of bass strings down to Cuba for distribution to local bass players. Like there's a lot of stuff flowing to and from between Canada and Cuba, so I'm not surprised by that at all. Because it's a lot cheaper than getting them from somewhere in Europe, right? But you're not going to get bourbon barrels from the States unless they first come to Canada. But yeah, Serge, one night I'm going to want to ask you all about your trip and see if you have any favorite rums. David says to Country Boy, you're correct. Wood stoves either have a catalytic burner or a secondary burning. Catalytic burners are the most efficient. But but what Russell's saying is that that's not going to improve on the fine particulate matter, which is what the problem is, which is why they're banned, which makes me grumpy. Oh, and in fact, Sean in Alaska says, excuse me.
Is that what he says? Sean, come on, man.
I wish I'd been able to mute that before doing that. Sorry, folks. Yes, Russell, it is the particulate matter that is the issue. Okay, so I mean, the thing is, I don't really know a whole lot about these stoves, right? I'm just trying to get past it, Russell.
I don't know why I laugh so much at toilet humor. It's just
David says the efficiency is reburning the off gas before it goes up the pipe. Yeah. Okay.
I don't know anything about catalytic converters or whatever the other type is. I know there's a plate in my stove. It doesn't all just go straight up a chimney. There's a big plate there. And I guess that's the way of kind of trapping the gas before it kind of goes around the plate and up.
I wish that the thing is, a ban is an easy solution rather than a sustainable one. Like legislate that by year X, all wood burning stoves have to have a certain efficiency rating and some kind of filter system at the top of the house, right? So that it's capturing the fine particulate matter. And I'm just pulling this out of the ether. This is all just theory to me. It's something I've said before, but I don't know how fine the filter has to be for the fine particulate matter. I know the fine particulate matter is fine as hell, right? But I don't know if it's possible to create a filter for that kind of stuff. In which case, maybe, you know, I don't know. And as I said, like, as I'm coming at this who's someone from, I'm going to start that again. I'm coming at this from the point of view who's someone. I'm coming at this from the point of view of somebody who's just salty that he can't have a wood burning stove. Okay, so non-catalytic stove, preheated combustion air, that's fine. Baffle, yes.
Yeah.
Catalytic stove, catalytic element, yes. But I mean, does that put less stuff up the chimney? Less of the particulate matter?
No, that's just the off gas. That's just the gas that should burn but is escaping because.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, it's probably, somebody could correct me, but is it lighter than air? Is it just gonna shoot out? Because there's a when a fire gets going, right? There's a wind tunnel thing happening, right?
Yeah, because it needs oxygen and then it needs the gas to go somewhere. Now, so yours has a plate, right? That which is probably the baffle.
Yeah. So mine
yeah.
is that first one there, the with the baffle, I guess.
Mm-hmm.
I haven't taken a really good. I haven't taken my wood stove apart, but I know there's that great big plate in there, and that's pretty much it. So in this one, I don't know what a catalytic element is. I don't know how it works, but
no, me neither.
Some kind of filter. I don't know. Some kind of filter that traps the gas and somehow burns it.
Yeah, I don't know. Sean says, by the way, first I knew what whiskey he was drinking, then I knew he was burping. So did we burp were we burping in conjunction there? Oops. It says, I believe you can have a wood stove if it's certified to emit no more than 2.5 grams of fine particulars per hour. That might be what the current standard is here, but when we bought this house, we were told, no, you cannot have the wood burning stove unless it is a particular, what was it? A particle? No,
pellet.
Pellet stove.
You're getting there. There's another P.
Maybe I'll look at it, because if we can have one, as long as it emits no more than 2.5 grams of fine particulates per hour, I'll tell you something. My wife makes twice as much money as I do, so I'm pretty sure that we could meet that. We could meet that somewhere halfway if it means we can have a stove, because she wants one too. Catalyst stove burns more cleanly at lower burn rates. At high burn rates, the particulate matter passes through the catalyst more quickly with less retention time, resulting in higher emissions.
Really?
Funk.
Oh, man. Is that true?
Funk.
I mean, it's Scott saying it, so, But
oh, wait. And here's... Catalytic element does not start until 500 degrees Fahrenheit, whatever that is in real temperature, and must be manually engaged. So what's 500?
What? Really?
Is that 325 or something? 3 something Celsius?
So confusing. I'm so confused now.
Manually engaged. Why would you do that to me? Why would you do that to me? Because that would be why they're not. I just don't know.
That's so confusing.
I say you've played Knife Spoony before.
Well played. I also eat the food.
But anyways, I mean, yeah, I don't know. It would be so cool if I could find a way around the ban.
Well, I mean, you could move.
Another way. Look, I'm not moving until both my kids are absolutely bilingual, and stealing jobs from little Albertan kids. Are there filters fine enough to capture the particulate matter? That's what interests me, right? Because, like, if the technology exists to keep neighborhoods from becoming like fields of soot. Not even fields of soot, but fields of these like. I'm not making sense because I'm tired.
That's pretty normal, actually.
If there are filters that exist, then there's an argument to be made that no, we don't have to ban these things. You just have to buy a new filter every year, and maybe that becomes expensive, and maybe that creates a landfill problem. Okay, so that's harder to defend against, but I don't know what AD means. Does she mean? Oh, it's an advert at 10:43. Interesting. Why?
It is a weird time.
I have it set for every 30 minutes, and I wasn't that late. Like, I wasn't 15 minutes late.
Well, this says we've been going for an hour and 31 minutes, so you were fairly late.
15 minutes late, give or take. Schnitzel. Okay.
Yeah, eat the schnitzel.
I do like a good schnitzel. The wood service are now at science. Absolutely. But
it's science, bitch. Sorry, that should be a GIF.
It should be. There's an excellent YouTube channel called Embers Living. Everything you ever needed to know about wood stoves. Wow, did I ever just blow that? Embers Living. So many channels I'm not going to watch right before bed tonight because I'm so tired. I love making schnitzel and spätzle. Did you just send me something?
I put something on Discord.
Okay, because I heard a sound from you and then immediately a Discord sound from here.
Yeah, I put something on Discord.
But yeah, I would love to make it work. When we bought this place, I had this dream of putting a wood burning stove in my garage and having it set up as like a workshop, a woodworking shop, and then like walk in there in the morning on a cold day, cup of tea in my hands, steaming, put it down, light up the fire, feel the place warm up, and then get to work. Like with a wood burning stove, the smell and the feel of that kind of heat. And then you're working with wood, with hand tools because it's old school, like a wood burning stove is.
Oh, Jess, I feel really bad that'll never happen. But I'll tell you what's nice is I get up in the morning and I put a fire in the wood stove and I go in the kitchen and I make a cup of coffee and
Yep. Every morning I make 2 coffees. I make 1 latte and 1 regular coffee, both for my wife.
Both for your wife, really?
Mm-hmm. Then I put the kettle on for me. Although I recently gave her an espresso machine to take to work. So maybe I don't need to make her a latte anymore. David Evans says, I'm really looking forward to my wood stove. Going to warm the cockles of my heart. Yeah, I can't wait till you have that wood stove.
I need video.
I think that his place needs a wood stove. I think it will fit in there so well.
I think David will love. Well, he'll never get to use it, but you'll love looking at it. Sorry, David. You're in Florida.
Yeah, but not all. Oh, yeah, that's true. He's in Florida in winter. Oh, wow, that's a good point. I hadn't thought of that. I was just so excited about his wood stove.
He'll use it during the shoulder seasons.
Yeah.
A little bit.
Fall, spring. That's true. That's very true.
Speaking of wood stoves, I gotta check now.
You're gonna pop some wood in that?
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah. David says he's gonna use it in spring and fall. Fair enough. I think I need David to go to Texas so he can pick me up some Texas whiskeys, and I'll go and see him, and he can pass me the bottles.
Yeah, because Texas is right beside Florida.
Close enough for me. You know, sitting all the way up here in the frozen north.
Yeah.
What time do you hey, you know what? I'm going to start that again. What time do you put your fire on in the morning? But like, what time do you start it, and like, how long does it take to warm the place up?
It always depends on how cold it is inside.
Yeah.
Like if it's say 15 Celsius or lower, then I pretty much do it right away. If City Girl's here and it's below 20, I do it right away.
But like right away being 6 a.m. or right away being 8 a.m.
Oh, whenever I get up, 7, 8, 9, 10. And then if it's like between, if it's around 17, 18, 19 in here, I usually don't bother. I'll have breakfast first, do some stuff, and wait until I feel chilly, and then I'll put it on.
Okay. Here, check this out. He says the Regency F1500. I need a pen here because I'm going to mark that down for later. Here's the thing.
1 gram.
You guys mentioned stuff, during my live streams. I'm like, sure, I'm going to remember that. And then I realized the next day that I'm not going through 2 hours of my own blah, 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 so I can remember that. So tonight I'm marking everything down on actual physical paper. Regency.
So a hybrid catalytic wood stove. So wood stoves like this, they don't require like electricity or anything like that, right?
For me, if it requires electricity, it's a non-starter, because the fact is, I want it to work during the next inevitable ice storm that knocks out hydro for like half the province, right?
Yeah. Well, yeah, exactly. You won't. But I'm not saying it doesn't. I'm just like, it's kind of like my propane stove in the kitchen. You would think that a propane stove doesn't need electricity, but to run the oven, you need electricity.
Well, and that's my problem with pellet stoves.
Yeah, exactly.
Right? It's like, what's the point? David says there are some Napoleon wood stoves that meet that criteria. Really?
Yeah. So Dave, how Dave up north? Any idea what the price point on that?
You got to keep our Dave straight.
F1500 is? Like it's not on the.
In the meantime, Country Boy has taken me down a notch, but David doesn't want to be in Florida. Quit shitting on his dreams. Fair enough. All right.
Take the stove with you when you go, Dave. Stick it in your condo.
Fine particle filters exist for wood stoves. 70 to 95% efficient. Cost like $100 to $200. And but the thing is, like city councils and stuff, they're looking for the easiest solution, right?
But then you got to change a filter, right?
Wow, about $4,500 for a middle range.
Holy hell!
That's canoe money, man.
And my wood stove was $50.
I was gonna say, I know how different my life is than it used to be when I see $4,500 and I think that's canoe money rather than, oh my god.
Well, that's like my first year of college money.
Yeah, mine too, probably. Oh well.
Well, I mean, with the beer I drank back then.
Fair enough. I would love to. Here's the thing, like, if the missus and I put our money together, $4,500 isn't completely undoable, but it's a lot of money. Like it's hard to make. It's hard to have that argument, because to me, that kind of stuff is important. To her, maybe not so much. Like to her, maybe a heat pump is a better way to spend that money, and it's hard to argue against a heat pump, right? Because that also works as a air conditioner during the summer, and a wood stove, though it might be great on a cold winter's night, is garbage on a hot ass summer's night.
But you can still cook with it.
Yeah. And I do love that.
It was like 35 Celsius. You want some bacon? I'll start up the wood stove.
Meanwhile, the missus is like, tabarnak, Jess, absolument pas. Qu'est-ce que tu fais, Chris?
Legit.
It says it's about 200. It's about 2,500 US. So yeah,
Right.
probably about
That's it.
$4,000.
Oh, US. Okay. Yep.
Yeah. Serge is Serge is hitting on truth here. The city doesn't want to hire inspectors to check your filter or lack of one. Absolutely, you're right. Did I mention, by the way, that Marcel's here?
Hello.
Hello, Marcel. It's a good French name. Everyone's saying hi. But you know, like I'm gonna look up those stoves just to.
So that's the Regency 1500.
That's the Regency?
Yeah. So it's got a nice big glass door on it.
Yeah.
Otherwise, fairly ordinary stove.
But I mean, you don't want it to look too crazy, right? I mean, an ordinary stove is fine.
No. There's nothing. Sorry, I didn't mean that it was boring or stupid or anything. It's just.
You know what I would put on that stove? Is those fan things that you can get at Lee Valley that you put on a wood stove?
Everybody loves those things.
I'd put one of those on. I mean, not while I'm trying to do pancakes, but
I have one of those and I used it. But if you stood like 5 feet in front of your stove, like you don't feel anything. The fan doesn't turn fast enough.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
That's
people swear by them. Where's Sean Alaska? He uses one. He'll swear by it. Let's let him tell us how great it is.
No, I don't want people swearing on my live stream.
Then we'll poop on
them. Serge says, I want a heat pump. It was 13 when I got it tonight. We have one. But the thing is, ours isn't big enough for our house. So we don't get like the full benefit. Like we need to replace it with a bigger one. It was probably never fine. The previous owner of this house spent as little money as possible on everything and got second-rate everything because of that.
I hate that.
Yeah. But I mean, I like the looks of that stove. I mean, it makes me envious of whoever, has one.
Maybe I shouldn't have said ordinary. I should have said straightforward.
Straightforward.
Or how about the traditional wood stove design? How's that?
It's a traditional looking design. It's a fine, time-honored design.
It's sleek. It's efficient. It's
sexy.
It has all the bells and whistles.
Every single bell and whistle.
It actually has. It looks like a temperature gauge on it as well.
Which is that a bell or a whistle? I think that's a bell.
Okay, I'll go with bell.
Yeah. Bell, yeah. You need a heat pump for every floor for a cheap property, and that's the thing. We need at least a 2-head. We need a 2-head one, and ours has 1 head at the top of our stairs. Oh, Serge, you've been at my house. You know this. It's just like 1 at the top of the stairs, and what we need is 1 there and 1 coming in the dining room. But the actual heat pump unit is not big enough for 2 heads. Just laying it out. Just telling you like it is.
Yeah, good job.
Yes, I always do a good job.
I know in Ray's new houses, they're not very big, but and he uses the heat pump. He's got 1 in the living room and then 1 in every bedroom. Well, there's 2 bedrooms, but
how big is this unit though?
It's not very big. I don't know. I'd guess 800 square feet, maybe.
So what size heat pump does he have then? Because you're talking about 3 heads then, right? You said 2 bedrooms?
I don't know how big it is.
Yeah, because ours is... Serge says, good night. He has to bounce to go to sleep.
Good night.
Good night, mister. Good night, Mr. Serge. Speak to you later. I wish that guy was closer to Montreal.
So you get to egg his house?
No, I mean, I've hit the woods with him a couple of times, and I always enjoy it.
I'm sorry, I misread that.
Jim says, when I was a kid, my parents bought a Vermont casting stove, had it installed by an Amish neighbor. So, I mean, at least there was no power tools involved. Stop talking about how big Ray's unit is. He's still here.
Way to go, Scott. Way to go. Nice.
Why didn't I think of that?
800.
Thankfully, Destiny is a good sport about it.
Destiny 800. That's the magic unit.
That's the
The
magic unit. 800 what? Stop.
The magic unit.
The magic unit.
I remember, I think I've told this before, but when I was, I don't know, maybe 12 years old, and I moved into the basement bedroom, and it was the only bedroom in the basement, and my parents installed a wood stove, kind of a cove, in a cove, right next to my bedroom, so that if I kind of went towards the end of my bed, I could look out and see the wood stove, right? But it was nice because we'd have fires like all day long, all night long in the wintertime. And I would leave my door open and I'd be lying there in bed and I could see the flicker of the flames across the ceiling and the walls. And
are you kidding? I would have my sleeping bag and I'd be in front of that stove faster than you could say shift.
It was so just, it was like ASMR for the eyes. It was, and I could hear it too, right? The crackle and
I love it. Love it.
It's like, I was kidding. I don't think I appreciate it as much as I would now, but I still really loved it. If that's possible.
It is shocking to me how wasted on the youth is. How wasted on the young youth is. How wasted, like how many things we don't appreciate until we're like this old and realize, man, this stuff was available to me my whole life and I just never reached out and grabbed it, you know?
Like I said this before too. Behind my house was a forest, and I used to go back there all the time, and I just wander around. If I'd known what I know now, I'd be out there doing bushcraft. I'd be camping. I'd be, holy crap!
All the stuff that you know now. Yeah,
that whole world was would have been my Toy Story. You know.
Yeah. Yeah, absolutely. I agree completely, and I feel the same way.
Thankfully, it was not Boreal. Excuse me, I meant to say boring. Boreal. Okay, same. It's the same.
Welcome to Jesse's Boreal ASMR evening, where I tell you facts about the Boreal forest.
Where I describe every tree in the forest. Oh, they're all exactly the same. Okay, this will be quick.
But they all smell amazing. Oh my God, David! Oh my God, David!
Boreal. Perfect. Boreal.
I gotta get a T-shirt with that picture of like a Norway spruce or whatever it's called. You know, the one that's like really kind of droopy. Russell, you're gonna love this. The Country Boy says it wasn't Boreal, but it was Seminole.
Okay, David, put those three together.
Are you assigning David to come up with jokes now?
Boreal Seminole.
You gonna rise to the occasion, David? Okay, I've got to stop pouring whiskey.
Rise to the occasion when we're talking about Ray's magic unit.
David says that all the trees are the same height in the Boreal forest. I don't think so. I've been to the Boreal. It has made me love life.
It's like, oh, look, there's a Boreal tree. Oh, look, there's the same tree, but slightly different size. Oh, look, there's another tree. It's exactly the same. If I cut it down and try and use it for firewood, it's not going to burn. It's going to burn fast and quick.
Oh yeah, that's the problem, man. If you're in an area where kind of all you've got is like maybe a few birches, but everything else is like pine, spruce,
softwood,
like softwood. So, I need an oak. Somebody plant a frickin' maple. so I can cut it down and burn for like a whole night kind of thing. Because you're right, like the softwoods, they just like, and they're done.
Holy
Yeah.
crap! We're
Forgot about
gonna
it.
need more firewood.
Yeah.
Well, you know how what they say is when you're preparing your firewood for a night camping, gather how much you think you need, and then gather 3 times that much.
Yeah, yeah, absolutely.
You're in the boreal; it's kind of like 10 times that much.
Yeah.
Like
Yeah, because that wood is,
belt.
all of those woods are fabulous for starting a fire and garbage for like keeping warm all night. Oh, and like the what is it, creosote, or what's the sticky crap that you really got to clean out of your chimney so it doesn't catch fire? Yeah, I mean they're really bad for that. David says not tonight. Can't beat Scott's wit. That's fine. That's all right.
What? You can beat him.
Pressure.
You can beat him up.
No
beat him up with a stick.
No pressure, David. No pressure. Russell also means no pressure. He just doesn't know how to say it.
I just told him to beat him off with a stick.
What kind of stick?
A stick that's
spruce?
Good for beating somebody off.
Something that grows in the boreal? Spruce, maple? Is it black?
We're going to move on. Is it black?
Oh, what was it? Black spruce? I've had a lot to drink, so I think it's black spruce, right? It grows like it just sort of, it clones itself.
I don't know.
What about a semi-boreal forest? I could do semi-boreal too. Look, at the end of the day, like if I'm not being a brat about it, I love forest. Point final. Like, so the forest around Russell's place, by the way, which, I mean, I don't know why I'm dissing the forest around Russell's place. It's gorgeous. I mean, especially in fall, because there's a lot of the tremble, aspen or something.
Pine. Well, pine trees.
Well, okay, there's a lot of pines, but there's also a lot of the ones that I would totally be able to name if I weren't 3 sheets to the wind. That go yellow in the fall instead of red.
Oh,
poplars, not poplars.
It's like American bass or something like that, or
I thought it was like maybe aspen, or like all those like the species that go kind of a nice yellow or a slight orange in fall instead of the dark red. I love that. I love the light you get in a forest like that.
Poplar, right?
Poplar does that as well.
Balsam. I don't know. Birch. I mean, I'm just naming the trees in the area.
Yeah, birch does that.
There's almost no elm trees around here. Hemlock? No, there's no.
You got some oaks. You got some oaks, but I think they go redder.
It's like 90% around the cabin. There's 90% maple.
Mm-hmm.
There's a lot of pine, but not directly around the cabin. In fact, it's all maple around the cabin. There is some oak around the cabin as well.
I saw some
around
oaks
the pond. There's a lot of pine.
Lots of the evergreens, absolutely.
A little bit of birch.
There's some birch. Yeah.
It's either going to be like American bass or maybe poplars grow like huge and tall, and they look like Tim Burton kind of trees.
Yeah.
Anyway,
CôTE says the only thing I don't like about the West Coast, no hardwood. I can burn about a quarter cord in one good evening around the fire. Yeah, that's the problem, and it's too bad because it's some of my favorite forests around there. I love that. I love those forests to stand in, but I would hate to try to heat a cabin for a winter with that kind of forest around me. David's talking about maple.
I love like
poplar, aspen, maple, birch, all yellow. Yep. But some maples go super red, right?
Oh yeah. Oh, absolutely.
You're talking to Canadians, right? We know that some maples go red.
I was going to say I wouldn't put maple on that list, Jim. They do have a yellow phase, but I mean they're going red. Well, I guess there are a lot of different maples too. So
I'm wondering if there's a maple that goes sort of yellow and then stops there, because I had always thought of them as a tree that goes really red.
So there's like 20 different maples.
Yeah, there's a shite ton of them, shift ton of them. Yeah, see, I really blew that. It's okay though. We're all friends.
But I love my firewood pile is like a lot of maple, some oak, quite a bit of poplar, only because it's so plentiful and it.
The thing is, you can't really beat maple and oak, right? I mean, maybe beech.
As far as
maybe
what?
like
As
for like
BTUs
good
or
burning hot and burning for a long freaking time, right? Like oak
so just
and
BTUs?
maple,
Oh yeah, like
just like fabulous
oh
wood
yeah.
stove
And the
woods.
beavers around here take down the maples. So I just got
Yeah,
to go collect them.
yeah, absolutely. Christy has some dead cactus to burn. Okay, fair enough.
How well does that burn? Don't they have like a wet internal?
Not when they're
Sled?
dead and they've dried out and
Oh,
they've
I don't know.
fused to nothing but.
Christy apparently is the cactus expert, so maybe
Really?
she'll tell us.
Christy, I have a cactus that's sort of fallen over. Do you know how I
It
can
it it
deal with that?
it looks like this. Like was it
Yeah.
straight and it just went
Yeah.
like that? Can you describe that for us, Christy?
Flaccid. Stop it.
Christy, tell us about flaccid cactus.
While we're waiting for that, David says we had a maple come down in December. My neighbor cut it up and took it for firewood. Yeah, a maple goes down or an oak goes down.
How did it come down? David, did like
Or a
snow
beech.
or just old, or
A beech goes down. Ash.
was it in the way of the hydro lines? Or
So Jim says that some maples are orange, some burgundy / purple. Sugar maple, he says, is yellow, but I know it's yellow at some point, but I thought it went red afterwards.
ours go red. But as I said, there's
Hickory.
like 20 different.
David says that oak is the best, but it takes longer to season. It does take longer to season for sure.
Oh, it takes quite a bit longer. Yeah, it's like I
Country
cut down
boy.
an oak; it's soaking wet inside.
Yeah, forget it. You got to wait. You have to wait forever.
Yeah.
Even the maple here is soft. Nothing like Eastern maple. Might as well be spruce. I did not know that. Christy says
Soft
kindling
maple.
for sure. Yeah, like all those like evergreens and stuff. You use it for kindling. You don't use it for your main heat
She's
wood.
talking about the cactus, though.
Oh, really?
I think so.
Huh.
So you're talking about the external, the skin or whatever, and the.
So do you chop it into like strips then for kindling? It never like occurred to me to use
I can't imagine that Christy is burning cactus for anything when it's like 100 Fahrenheit in the middle of winter. Like what's she gonna be burning?
True. It says here's maple came down in a windstorm, I think.
Yeah. Okay.
Jim says, thanks to the emerald ash borer, we have a ton of ash to burn around here. Yeah, and ash is nice burning too. But you know what? It's funny. Speaking as someone who, spent his first 5 years as a working person in construction, it's nuts how in some areas they've turned the emerald ash borer into like there's a marketing effort behind it. Like I've been in a couple of places where the trim around the doors and windows, it's typical, trim and everything, but it's got these little holes. I'm like, yeah, that was the emerald ash borer. And I'm like, wow, how expensive was that? And they're like, well, it's cost so much. And it's like,
okay.
First of all, I love the energy. I love the fact that you can take this absolute disaster and turn it into a money-making proposition. But it reminded me of something in the musical instrument world. Okay, so for a lot of Russell, stop me if I get boring, okay? Because I've had some whiskeys.
Can I cut you off 2 hours ago?
Unkind and possibly uncalled for, but maybe not. So here's the thing. There are certain instruments that require ebony because that's what they are, like violins, double basses, stuff like that. The fretboards are ebony. They're ebony. Don't mess around with other stuff. They're ebony, right?
And ivory.
Live together in perfect harmony. Fretless bass fretboards as well, fingerboards as well. Like almost always ebony. Now here's the thing. The Taylor Guitar Company bought 95% of the ebony being used in instrument fretboards and other elements like tuning pegs for fiddles and stuff comes from the same company or the same organization in like in Africa or Madagascar or whatever, or both, whatever it is. And the Taylor Guitar Company bought them, and the CEO went and sat with him and said, okay, now that I own you, tell me about ebony, because some ebony is absolutely pitch black and some of it has lighter colored stripes in it. And they said, yeah, some trees are absolutely black. That's what we want. Some trees have streaks. That's what we don't. And he said, so how do you know which is which? They said, by cutting down the tree.
Wow.
So he said, what? And I said, by cutting down the tree. So that's why you're suddenly seeing ebony with streaks in it, in places where you never would have seen it before. And because he was like, no, we're not killing entire trees just to pitch them aside, so a lot of guitar fretboards on Taylors and stuff have ebony with streaks in it. And I know a lot more about this because when I was having my expensive bass built, I looked into a lot of fretboard woods, and I settled on Madagascar rosewood. Now, since I've had my bass done, Madagascar rosewood has been put on the CITES list. CITES is, don't make me say it because I don't remember, but it's a list of things that can't be exported very easily. Anyways, and so long story, I'll just cut this short. What Jim is saying about the emerald ash borer reminded me of places that were making it kind of a part of the not the design, but part of the aesthetic of the wood stuff that they were selling, like trim and stuff like that. And it reminded me of this, how the Taylor guy's like, no, you cut down an ebony and it's gonna be turned into product, period. And that's why now there's ebony we can see with streaks and stuff in it, because the multicolored ebony isn't just being tossed aside anymore. And if you want like an absolutely midnight black ebony, who's leaving?
Jim.
All right, Jim, but I'm talking about something you brought up. It's all right. Good night. If you want the pitch black ebony, it's really expensive now.
Sure. I just
anyways,
told
good
you
night.
to F off.
What?
Great story. Compelling and rich.
Yeah, absolutely. I totally believe you. If I have one more whiskey, I'm going to start rolling dice.
Well, roll a die to see if you're drinking more whiskey.
I'm not drinking more whiskey. I have to work in the morning, and we're already like a quarter past my my shutdown time on this.
I also have to work in the morning.
You have to work on making a fire.
Yeah, what happened to my fire?
Yes, Christy, you're absolutely right. And I still haven't had supper.
Jeez. Oh, you haven't had supper?
No. I made supper, but I haven't had supper because I had a governing board meeting that went really long, and then I had you guys.
Well, you probably don't need to eat anyway.
I do have the hunger of 10,000 hungers. Just point that out.
You got it somewhere in you.
You got it somewhere in you. Why was I talking about that? Oh yeah, because of the emerald ash borer. But yeah, ash burns well. That's where this whole thing started. Ash was one of the woods that I listed as being better than like fir for burning. Hey, how's it going, Marcel? When they're dead, they're super dry. However, our window to have a fire here is 2 weeks. Otherwise, you start like a wildfire, a brush fire.
Are you really like, okay, get ready.
And
Get ready.
Go.
Get ready, 9 toes.
Okay, and stop. Douse.
Shit. We almost had... My marshmallow's not quite done.
Christy, you should send me some super dry cactus, and I will do like an episode of turning it into a fire, like using it to start a fire.
What a great idea!
Mm-hmm.
Except awesome.
I don't think I included my mailing address on the envelope that I sent Christy with the stuff. Christy, did you ever do a video of that stuff that I sent you?
In general, that's a smart idea, but we need cactus, so.
Christy says, I have a cool ass new knife. Nice. Oh, thanks to me. Oh, I should have read that whole thing before. Oh, you said today open an Amazon package. I opened an Amazon. Oh, Mark is out. Okay, good night, mister.
Good night,
Thanks
Mark.
for hanging out to the bitter end.
Or longer.
Country Boy says Rosewood is beautiful. We did a small job a while ago with Purple Heart for home theater furniture company. Never seen anything so amazing once it is varnished. Yeah, I think Purple Heart is an amazing wood. I wouldn't use it for anything because I don't love purple, but it really is purplish. And it's
Wait,
spectacular.
there's a wood that is purple?
Yeah, Purple Heart.
Holy crap, I need some Purple Heart.
Yeah, you do. It's spectacular. Christy, I was about to say something related to this, but I don't remember what. Damn it. Okay, man, it's like 19 past 11. Here's what we're going to do. Because I'm so tired,
one more dram,
we're going to go into,
we'll
I'll pour one more small dram and we'll go until 11:30, and then we're shutting this thing down like hell.
Do you need to see a man about a hearse? Because I can take it. I'll be funny.
Yeah, I do need to see my better hearse. I'm busting for a piss like you wouldn't believe. I'll be right back.
You need a bucket.
Or at least a bottle.
A desk bucket. Well, you got that bottle right there, that Nickenean.
The Nickenean is why I need the bucket. I'll be right back.
I know it's not empty, but, you know, we'll have a whole new flavor profile. Come on. David, come on in. Come on in, David. Just do it. Just do it, brother. Bonsoir tout le monde. Thanks for the great lifestyle. Yes, mods. Destiny, you're taking off? Sweet dreams of Ray's magic unit. Destiny, if you're taking off. 800 is the number of the magic unit. I hope Ray's not watching right now. It'd be like, what? No. My phone would be ringing. Oh shit, that's funny. I don't know why Ray has. I gotta call Ray tomorrow because he's working on that house that we put in that I helped him with. Finishing the basement and stuff. He also got a new house coming, a new delivery, same as the old one. A crane comes and picks it up and says, right about there. What whiskey do you drink, Russell? Marcel, I have a Glenlivet 15-year-old in the cupboard, and I have a Glenfiddich. Wait, are they both 15? I think the Glenlivet might be 12, and the Glenfiddich might be 15. And then I've got Johnny Walker Red, which is a good drink once you've had a few, and it really doesn't matter what it tastes like anymore. So there you go. So Johnny Walker Red with a little piece of ice to kind of give it some ambiance. It's like Scotch ASMR. Cheers, everybody. And I'm having a beer too as well. Yeah.
Cheese in German is Käse.
Dave in the house.
I told you we were going until 11:30, and now suddenly Dave's in the house, and we're gonna have to go longer because Dave's in the house.
Oh, Dave, can you hear us? Can you hear us? We can't hear you. Okay, Dave's gonna fix his technical problems.
He's working on his tech.
All right, what food did you get?
Cheese. Which in German is Käse, which in Swedish is Ost, and bread, which in German is Brot, and which in Swedish is Bröd.
You've been doing your what is it? The wiener thing, the wiener.
I haven't been doing the wiener.
You've been doing the wiener language thing. What is it called? Wiener something? You know, where you learn a different language and you listen to it every day, and then you do the wiener.
Do the wiener sounds like a song. Oh, did Destiny go to sleep?
I thought maybe she thought the live stream was ending, but I wish her sweet dreams. Yeah, I wish her sweet magic ray unit dreams.
Destiny's asking what whiskey. Oh, piss. That wasn't it.
Oh,
what whiskey are you drinking?
I answered that question. I did.
Can you hear me now?
And then, oh, there he is, David.
I had to.
Oh, something. Oh, you're breaking up somehow, and you just went mute somehow.
Little Fish had some Gentleman Jack the other night.
No.
Ah, there he is.
Something, you keep going mute for some reason. Something in, are you like, do you have a touchpad and your wrist keeps coming across the touchpad? Are you clicking things inadvertently? Are you pressing things that you shouldn't be pressing?
Marcel. The Jack you want is the single barrel. Single barrel something. Look up Jack Daniel's single barrel. It's fabulous. It's the only Jack Daniel's I'll drink. It's great.
Jack single barrel. David's gonna get this.
I get it.
David's one of the smartest guys I know. Until he wakes up, and then
Jeez.
There you go.
I think it keeps going muted.
Okay, so sometimes on your earbuds and stuff, there's buttons that you don't see.
Yeah.
Sometimes, but so don't touch anything. You good?
All right. Maybe that's what I'm touching. Maybe that's what's wrong. Anyway, how's everybody?
It's great to see you again,
great.
Dave.
Yeah.
We're eating food.
Loving life. Or was that too far? Was that a bridge too far?
How's Florida, Dave?
That's a little on the cool side. It's in the low 60s today, but sunny. We had a lot of rain on the weekend, but it's good. It's good. We're painting the place at the moment. So
Convert low 60s to C. Convert low 60. Convert low 60s to C. So like 16
15.
Celsius,
15.
15?
Okay.
Yep.
Yeah, that's what the captain was this morning when I got up. So Jess, on your list of when do I start a fire? It was first thing this morning.
Fair enough.
Yeah.
I think that if I had a stove, I would start a fire on days when it was technically too hot to start a fire, just because I love me a nice fire. Cold day, man, I'm like, woo, let's start a fire. Like warm-ish day, I'm like, woo, let's start a fire.
Okay.
Hot ass day, I'm like, whoa.
You don't want to start a fire on a hot ass day.
Look, okay, hot ass. Anyway, David, let me ask you this. So you're
Thank you, Russell. I think it's pretty good too.
So David, you obviously have a spot picked out in your house for the wood stove, right?
I do.
Perfect spot, actually.
I've got two spots picked out.
Huh?
We got a very complicated roof line. Like in the center where the living room is and our master bedroom is, the roof joists go this way, and then there's two end units where they go the other way,
right,
90 degrees to that, and there's like four hips where they come together, and four valleys.
Yeah.
So I gotta get the pipe through where the one roof's not sitting on top of the other. So I'm limited in locations as to where I can put it through.
I haven't
Can I
thought of
share a screen? Is it?
Mhm.
Can you share a screen here?
Yep.
Present.
How do I-
that. Down at the
present.
bottom it says present. Present
Yeah.
arms.
Let me show you.
There's usually roofs can be like if you got a soft spot in your roof, there's usually a way you can put more wood in there and do stuff. But
No, it's just
I think-
it's because I got rafters crossing each other. You got to get that pipe through without the pipe hitting one of the rafters
okay, yeah.
going in another direction.
Oh, that's one thing I got lucky in here because I never planned for the wood stove chimney to go up through there. But
So that
So-
picture you showed earlier of that wood stove sitting in the corner of that room, that's exactly what I want to do. I want to.
Okay,
There's a
all right.
spot. There's a spot where we've got those big bank of windows,
Yeah.
and as you face the lake, it's on the right-hand side. I think I can get the stovepipe straight up through there, and
But you almost
it'll
have to
sit in that corner of the room.
you almost have to come down, right? So that you can make sure that you're not hitting anything special on the way in through the
Yeah.
roof.
I'm not going to cut a hole in my roof. I'm gonna pay to have this thing professionally installed. Yeah, that's it. That's exactly
Dave,
what I want to do.
yeah, okay.
Yep.
All right.
So I'm looking
But,
at. So there's so many different makes and models of wood stoves, but in Canada, Napoleon and Regency are the two main manufacturers.
That are available.
So
Yeah.
the one I'm looking at is the Napoleon S20, and it can heat up to 1,800 square feet, which would be more than plenty big enough for the
Mhm.
size of our place because it's only 1,350.
So, okay, pardon me for not having a perfect memory, but would you put it on the main floor or the basement?
Main floor.
Main floor, okay.
And by the way, Russell, to hell with you for not having a perfect memory.
I don't
Sorry,
have a perfect memory. I got the
what did
opposite
you
of
just
a
say,
perfect
Jess?
memory.
Yeah, I have a memory. I have a mind like a steel sieve. Okay, so I'm not going to really seriously take
Alright.
someone down for their memory.
You know, despite my poor memory, I remember you saying that like a dozen times, Jess.
Why you got to
Which
be
means
hating?
you've probably said it about 80 times.
Yeah.
Oh,
So I want
look.
to use the wood stove for heating in the spring and heating in the fall.
Mm-hmm.
So here's the thing. This is why I asked David about where you're going to locate it, because here's the thing that I think is important in a wood stove,
Mhm.
like
Combustion?
You know, when the TV was invented, and so living rooms changed, right? Where now the TV is the center point, and all the kind of the chairs and stuff are pointed kind of in a circle around the TV, so we can all watch the TV, right?
The way they used to be around the fireplace.
Yeah, and they listen to the radio, right?
Yeah.
Whereas today, you're not going to like put all your chairs and stuff around a wood stove, because as delightful as it is to watch a fire, you're not going to sit there and watch it, like, right? So in
I would
so in
watch
our
it.
cabin, what I'm getting at here is our cabin, our TV is here, our wood stove is there. We can sit on the couch, watch the TV, and then glance over and see the fire and be overjoyed in its warmth and its and the way it looks. So
Ours won't be much different. So we got a big couch. So the wood stove will be in one corner and the TV's on the other wall. So we can look either way. The couch we like because it looks out onto the lake. That's our most
lovely.
important view is the lake view.
Lovely.
Yeah.
But I want the wood stove for the ambiance. I seriously considered a gas burning fireplace, gas burning stove, but it's not the same.
No, it's not
Just
the same.
isn't the same.
Oh, David, I tell you what, you haven't been here yet, and you're going to come here at some point, David. But I got a stool in front of my stool here, and it's partially because when you're kind of working on building a fire, you're squatting or something. I don't know, but a stool is nice so you can sit there. But I also find myself just sitting there anyway. Like the fire's going, I'm just sitting there watching it.
I love to watch a fire. I could lose
And it's
2 hours
just-
like that.
And you feel the warmth coming off it. And it's like, I'll sit there and watch TV. You know, I'm sitting on the stool watching TV.
So my question is if I did put the stove on the first floor or the main floor, will it heat the crawl space downstairs?
You'd need some kind of
Will that heat work its way downstairs?
No, it won't. But if you have some kind of duct, some duct system
Right.
or
But
some
if I
fan
put the
system.
fan on the furnace, like the furnace doesn't have to run, but if I put the fan on the furnace, it'll pull that heat downstairs, won't it?
Kind of depends on where the heat, on where the fan
So
is.
you're drawing air in, and you're
Yeah.
here's
So
here's
we have cold air returns on the first floor, and we
Yeah.
have heating ducts downstairs. So it's going to go through the furnace and come out the heating ducts downstairs.
Is it?
but ordinarily you wouldn't have that on in the when it's cold, right?
No,
The
not
fans?
normally, but I can turn the fan on the furnace.
Okay.
I mean, the other thing you could do, David, I don't think there's any rules against this, is, where your wood stove is going to be, put a hole in the floor, put some kind of fan there, and put some duct right down to the floor of the crawl space.
Mm-hmm.
And then when you got a fire going, just flick the fan on and just pump hot air down there.
Yeah, that's an option. Well, that's what they used to
And
do
then
in the old days, right? They used to have big grates in the floor where the heat would go down or up, depending on where the wood stove was located.
What's that noise I'm hearing in the background? Is it just
I don't know. It's not
Pam's
here.
using a stapler.
The thing is,
okay.
but the heat always rises, right? So like you put the grate in the floor, and unless you force the air down somehow with a fan or something, it's not going down.
Well, that's
I'm not worried about it because
Didn't I say that?
I have supplement heat in the basement, so
No, I said that you'd have to have a fan there.
Yeah, you need to have
fan
something there.
down.
And the duct, you'd have to put duct on it to go right to the floor. Otherwise, it's going to stay at the ceiling level.
Yeah.
And then you flick the fan on.
Yeah. Either way, it doesn't matter. Like I said, I've got baseboard heaters in the crawl space. I can heat the crawl space with the furnace and just shut the ducts off upstairs. I got lots of choices.
Oh, ducts. If you ever want to convert to solar, though, you're gonna be thinking long and hard about this.
Yep, I know.
Excuse me.
By the way, it's 11:36, so we'll go until 11:45. But then, I really gotta go to bed.
Yeah. Okay.
I gotta grab another.
So, Dave,
Yeah.
because what you showed me last week or the week before was it looked almost like it was a wood burning stove, but it kind of looked like a fireplace. Are you
An
still?
insert. Yeah.
Oh, you're right. It was an insert. Okay. Oh, so that's not actually all that useful for you because you have to build the whole fireplace around it.
Yeah, I'm moving away from that idea, going back to the standalone wood stove because there's too much money involved in the.
Yeah, that sounds expensive as hell. Yeah,
finishing it all around it, and it's just.
So, do you have like a top 5 or a top 3 of the models you're looking at, or are you still sort of looking at everything that's available?
Okay, so the one that Dave mentioned, that's on my list.
Yeah.
The Napoleon S20 or S25 are the two that I'm considering. Oh, and there's one more called Stuv, STUV.
Stuv. Is that a local company to me?
It's Quebec based.
Yeah.
So those are the 3, but I'm leaning towards the Napoleon. The one thing you don't want to do is oversize the wood stove because it'll be so hot you can't sit next to it.
Okay, but I have a question about that. It was something I was going to mention. I was going to ask when you mentioned that the one of the stoves you're looking at is good for like 1,800 square feet, and you've got 1,350.
Yeah.
Is it better to go slightly larger, like 1,800 for a 1,350 house, and have the headroom for if it gets really cold, but make a smaller fire most of the time, or to aim for something that's right at the size of your house, and then maybe it struggles a bit if it's a really cold day?
I think you go big or go home. That's my attitude.
Mm-hmm.
And one of the other reasons I'm interested in this in a wood stove is that if we ever do lose the power, then got a way to heat the house.
Which is why it pisses me off that we can have like pellet stoves. Like, okay, but if there's no electricity, how's my pellet stove gonna work?
Power station.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's just an auger. It's just an auger. It's a very small auger that from the hopper. This auger just meters in the pellets. And Russell, that's very low power demand. So a power
I'm,
station.
But
I'm
I
still trying to
still
get you
need-
a power station.
I was going to say I still need to get a power station though.
Yeah,
I'm
I-
working on one now.
Russell, when you mentioned that I could use like a power station and some good panels for my garage, I was like, ah,
I'm working on it, Jess.
must do that. Christy asked if I'm working from home tomorrow. No, appointment on Thursday, so I'll be working from the office tomorrow instead of Thursday this week.
So
Which,
yeah. So me for solar, I've been rethinking that. Like I would love to go off grid, but the cost of it and the payback, I just don't think I can justify it.
but you know, Dave, I think that that has a large. I'm going to start that sentence again because I lost track halfway through. But David, I think that if you and I owned houses and we were 25, solar makes excellent sense. Where we are now in our lives, I'm thinking this because I would have loved to have put a metal roof on this house, right? Because it lasts so much longer. But I'm 51, dude. Why do I want to buy the next owner of this house 20 years of roof?
You're
You know
going
what
to
I'm saying?
replace your roof in like 10 years, buddy.
Yeah. So I
Well,
can tell you that we have shingles, and
Yeah.
let's say that we built in 2011, so they've
Mhm.
been on for 13 years. They're 25-year shingles, which I would guess they got another 5 years of life.
Yeah, they're
on them.
never really 25
Never
years
go to
old.
25. And when they go, I'm putting a metal roof on.
Hmm.
There are so many things, and I did a video about this. The lessons learned about building a place. I would have if in 2011,
Mhm.
I wish I had hindsight. I would have gone solar, off-grid solar, and would have gone metal roof. Those two things are slam dunks.
And a wood stove.
And a wood stove. Yeah, those three things, and a wood stove. But you know, when we built the place, it was going to be a seasonal cottage, not us living there full time. So it's just how amazing how things change, right? Plans change.
Such a nice place, though. Like
I
would
did all
love
three
to.
of those things.
Yeah, you did. Your place is smaller than theirs, though. Like I wonder, because
And
when I
in
look at the
restaurants.
price, when I look at the
Not
price
smaller.
to throw a metal roof on, like the kind of cabin I would build by myself out in the woods,
Yeah,
it's, I don't want to say affordable because you know that's really freaking bougie, but it's a hell of a lot less than putting a metal roof on this house is.
The problem is the roofs these days they're putting on houses. They're got to be fancy. It's got to have all these gables and valleys and
yeah.
like
Which this house hilariously doesn't have, which is nice. Because you're right.
Oh.
Like so many of the
Right.
places, like
Right.
the subdivisions being
Good night,
built
Pam.
nowadays, it's like, say goodnight from both of us to Pam, please.
They say good night. She says good night.
She has no idea who says goodnight, but that's okay. We love Pam.
She knows I'm talking to you.
The day I win the lottery, I'm calling to have Pam make me a quilt.
Oh, I love our
I'll
quilt.
make you one anyway. You don't have to.
I love our quilt. I love every now and then, David. I see the. Where is it?
I love the quilt as an art form. Like, you know, I grew up in Manitoba. I mean, I didn't grow completely up in Manitoba, but I spent my formative years in Manitoba. So, like, what do you have in Manitoba? You've got Mennonites, you got Ukrainians, you got like, you know, quilting bees and stuff like that.
Yep.
And so, to me, when I see a quilt, I always have these fond memories because I was a happy kid in Manitoba. Right. And I was a deeply unhappy youth in Quebec. You know, so like whenever I see a nice quilt, I think about.
You went mute there again.
Me?
There's that.
I'm back. I was just talking.
David. Oh, okay.
So whenever I see a well-made quilt, like that one that's hanging in your place, Dave, in Ontario, I absolutely adored. And I couldn't get a good angle of it to take a picture because it was too close to the other wall.
So for anybody who doesn't know, like Pam made this quilt and she won awards for it.
Yeah. Look at that.
And this is something she's working on now?
Yeah, this is one she banged off on the weekend. Like Saturday.
On the weekend.
Unbelievable.
On the weekend.
So spectacular.
That is beautiful.
Such good work.
Beautiful. Yeah, that's gorgeous.
Such good work. Yeah.
He's very talented. No, that's enough for tonight.
Yes.
Christy
We
says
say yes.
now they have solar panels, solar tiles you can put. Yeah, Tesla makes a solar roof,
Oh,
and they
they've
say
had
it's
they've
the
had
same
stuff like
price
that
as
for
a roof, but what they mean is the same price as a metal roof.
it's they've had stuff like that for ages, and if they improve the efficiency, they get the cost down, and if it's the same price as a metal roof, then hell yeah, do that shit.
Mhm. Yeah, I'd
Because
rather
you
do the
can,
solar panel or the solar tiles than a metal roof in that case.
and
Sure.
then I mean and for most people, you know, you're not going to have an off-grid system, but you're not going to have any hydro bills ever again because you're going to do the net metering thing, right?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
But Dave, if you want to go off-grid solar, we'll talk. I'll walk you through the whole thing.
He'll set you up.
Yeah, I reckon it'll cost me, and you can correct me if I'm wrong, but I reckon it's somewhere in the $30,000 to $40,000 range.
Yeah, pretty much.
Yeah, and that's a lot of money.
Dave, don't you live in a province with like a program
Oh.
where you'll get some of that money back?
Oh, there was recently something.
Because I think we still have a program here where you like if you do a super efficient house, you get money back for it.
So I know Ontario just started a program for heat pumps because I got an email from Hydro
Quebec
One
did as well
for a heat pump. Yeah.
Ray was talking about something recently. When I say recently, probably 6 months ago, but he said they were really busy now because something came out, and all the people that they talked to. It's funny because all the potential customers he talked to in the last 2 years and gave quotes to and went, no, maybe not now. They were all calling him back and saying, "Oh, let's do it now," because
Mhm.
you know the government's come up with some. It was some.
Well, here's the thing, like if the government is offering me money to make my house better, and I can afford it after the refund, damn straight I'm going to do it. Making my house better and not paying the full price? Come on.
You know what it is? It's always been this way. It's always been like, how long until I break even?
Yeah.
Like how long until I, the money I invested is paid off, right?
Yeah,
which is why we haven't gone solar, because for what we pay in
payback.
Quebec, forget it. It's like 10 years before I break even.
Oh, you guys got James Bay.
The payback.
Cheap
So
electricity.
So even when we were doing like the program way back like 14 years ago, it was the payback was generally like a good payback was 6 years, a long payback was 8 years. So people were going for it. But then it was money back. It wasn't just net metering, it was money back. So on a 20-year contract, you break even at 8 years and then you get 12 years of money.
Let me ask you a question. Hypothetically, of course.
Him or me?
You build your cabin where it is. If you had a power line right outside your door, going past your cabin, would you gone off grid?
That's a difficult thing. I mean, no, I wouldn't have because would I have gone off grid? Yeah, I would have because I already had the panels, I already had the batteries. So
and the experience.
That was and the experience. It was an easy decision for me.
Yeah.
For you, that's a terribly difficult one. That is like if you got deep pockets, I would have gone off grid. But
you know what scares people? It's the future. I mean, we're going to be an energy-based country, hybrid, EV cars and wind generation, and anyway, the demand on the grid is just going to get worse and worse and worse, and Canada doesn't have the infrastructure for that. So what's the future going to be like in 10 or 20 years from now?
No, I live in Quebec. We have the infrastructure with that. We can have 100,000 electric cars on the road, and it's not even going to take over. But because you guys,
Alberta
two things.
Doesn't have infrastructure.
No, but it's because Alberta sold itself too. Why do I have balloons?
What was that?
What just happened there? I did this, and two things. No, which of you did that?
I didn't do it.
I don't know how to do that.
I don't know how to do that.
I do that every time.
Two things. Let's see if I can do that without the balloons. Quebec has sold itself to electric in a big way, like hydro projects, but also you guys don't have a crown corporation doing power anymore, right? So like Hydro One charges a lot of fucking money. It's okay. We're after the
We're paying 11 cents a kilowatt hour at the moment, seasonally. Yeah.
Well, before delivery charges, before tax,
Before delivery charges, yeah. That's just that's
crap.
the power component. Power supply.
Yeah, and I'm maybe half of that.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
Like I think.
So for anybody who doesn't know, Quebec has a lot of hills, and so a lot of water running down hills means a lot of hydroelectric dams and shit like that.
A lot of dams, and now a lot of wind as well, right? I mean,
James Bay. I mean, it's one of the biggest.
We have James Bay.
So that's a lot of power based on water. Anyway, go ahead, Jess.
And we power New Brunswick. We power a lot of the northeastern seaboard of the United States. I mean,
you call it the Newfoundland.
So like for us here, electric cars
is what the fuck, stuff to Newfoundland.
Well, they've got they got offshore oil. They can power themselves. Sorry. But like, so here things like electric cars and all that stuff is a no-brainer. But something that Russell was talking about is interesting because it used to be that you could not sell power back to the grid here.
Wait, and that is something interesting.
It happens every 12 years. Whereas now in Quebec, you can sell power back to the grid. And I think that is sort of a game changer in some ways. Mm-hmm. Like, because we pay so little for power comparatively, right? You still, like, the payback time span, whatever, for like a solar project on a Montreal house is still a lot longer than, say, in Ontario or BC. But I still want to do it. And it has less to do with the actual dollars and cents than it does with not having to care if Hydro decides to up its prices. Now, Hydro can't just up its prices, right? It has to go to the National Assembly and make a case, because as a crown corporation, or whatever Quebec calls crown corporations, because you cannot use the word crown here, they have to apply to raise their prices, because they're not allowed to actually turn a profit. They're not allowed to make a profit, which keeps the prices pretty low compared to what you guys are dealing with in Ontario. But I would love the freedom aspect of having solar panels on a small wind, Chosbenush. It just turbine. Like, I don't care what Hydro-Quebec does.
Turbine. Yeah,
I just don't care.
Yeah. So I just did a quick calc. If I installed a solar power system and I said 30,000, my monthly bill is $100 a month, 25-year payback, and that's pretty simple math. I mean,
and my monthly bill is less than half yours, and I have a heated saltwater pool in my backyard in the summer. Oh, well, it's there all the time, but I mean, we use it in the summer.
For 2 months, yeah. Okay, whatever.
111 for 2 months.
You only pay $100 a month?
Yeah, well, we don't use a lot of electricity. We don't use 40 kilowatt hours a day. We use maximum 20, and that's like for a couple of weeks in the summertime when we're running our air conditioning. So typically we're between 12 and 15 kilowatt hours. We're about, no, not even that, 10 to 12 kilowatt hours a day.
Well, that's a hard case. I mean, David, if you want to go solar, it's just going to be because you really want to go solar, right?
Well, I hate paying money to Hydro One.
Hydro One is populated by Satan's children for sure. What they're charging is crazy. Like what I mean, it's easy for me to say because Hydro-Quebec does not charge too much, but no, I'm sorry. What Hydro One is charging is nuts.
Oh, it's only going to get worse. Yeah.
And yes, it will only get worse. I'm trying to figure out how I started those balloons, by the way. I don't know what I did.
I don't know, but that was hilarious.
Like, what the hell's going on here, guys?
Anyway.
I did all my best moves right there. I can't.
I would love to be 100% off grid. I don't mind propane. Like propane, to me is it's an evil, but you need it. I don't like, and having a
I love-
standalone tank, that's
I
fine.
love
But
propane. I love propane.
Yeah.
Propane is wonderful. It burns clean. It lasts forever. It doesn't go
Mhm.
bad. You know.
No, doesn't go bad. No. So I don't mind having propane delivered. Going to the 1,000-gallon tank was a really good idea. I wish I did it
But
sooner.
you know what really? So there's a couple of things we're talking about. One is we hate paying companies for electricity, but the other thing is, in Jess's case, it's not so much about paying for electricity. You want to be able to survive an emergency, right?
Yeah.
Power out kind of emergency.
Yeah, look, the thing is, I still remember in 1998, right? When
Yeah, I do
that
too.
ice storm kicked the epic
Wow.
crap out of our.
Was
Out of-
1998 a whole year? I have problems remembering.
David understands.
It was
I just
it was
wanna
in
point out what-
January, early January. Yeah.
Yeah, it kicked there. And in fact, the ice storm hit. So, like, I have had the same phone number since 1998, but I'm not with the same company, right?
Mhm.
98, I ordered my first phone ever. And that was back when, okay, you have to call the company and activate your phone number. Here's your phone number, kind of thing. And before I could call to activate the number, the ice storm kicked the crap out of the power grid. And so I remember being on the phone for like 3 hours trying to get through so I could activate my phone. A, because yay, new cell phone that I'm paying for. But B, suddenly there was no power in my house. And I was not staying there, which meant I could not use my home phone. So like to me, like 98 it was a seminal year, Russell, because that's when I got my first cell phone. And that was also the year that the power died. The power died, guys.
Yeah.
And it wasn't just Quebec. It was like New Brunswick and parts of Ontario as well. But I mean, I live in Quebec. I just want to say that Tim says we have more Teslas on the road here, insane amount. Yeah, Quebec is full of Teslas. Every house on my street has solar. I'm one of the few that has backup batteries. We can sell power back, and we do.
Yeah.
I kind of think that we're at the stage where every new house built should have like solar panels on the roof and a battery back.
I've been saying this for like 14 years. Like, why don't they, even if they don't come with solar panels, why don't they build houses with great big south-facing roofs so that you can like load it up if you wanted to? But I mean, I don't understand why like home builders aren't saying, let's build a house, let's put solar on the roof.
Yeah.
Why aren't they doing that? Like,
Look what little fish is. What Marcel's saying. I think we should look into solar panels, especially since the summer heat here is insane these days.
Oh yeah.
you mean you need solar for AC?
Christy says my monthly electric bill is $398 every month. I'm on an equalizer plan, so I pay the same every month as opposed to paying huge summer ones. I also am on a plan, so it's like 111-ish every 2 months, but that's expensive, dude.
That seems well.
And you live on the surface of the sun, so you're not paying for heating in the winter.
She's renting AC like 12 months of the year, right?
Fair enough.
And they have a pool, so
Okay.
they're also. Wait, do you pay to cool your pool?
I have a heated pool, right? I have a heated pool. I mean, we pay a lot in Quebec
pools are
money,
heated?
but Tim says we get credits right now from the electric company. In time, we'll be getting cash. We still have to be connected to the wires yet. So to Quebec, you have to be connected to the wires, and there's a basic fee that you pay every month for access, or whatever they call it.
It would
Maybe
be
$20
great
a
to
month.
be net zero.
Yeah, it would be amazing.
That's the whole point of net metering is to be net zero.
Yeah.
You don't pay for.
Tim says those who do not have solar will be paying 33rd and a third price increase in a couple of months. Funk that.
33 and a third price increase. That's
Little Marcel, I did have that little Nokia, but my first phone was a Sony. It was an Ericsson. I had an Ericsson, then I had a Sony Ericsson, then I got that Nokia that everyone had.
Yeah, I had that same Nokia.
Yeah, mine was purple.
You had to put the little surfboard on it to go digital. Yeah.
That Nokia was That was a classic for a reason. Tim says, for us, it was a matter of the rip-off of electric company rate increasing yearly. The batteries are for emergencies like earthquakes. Fair enough.
It's one thing to have solar panels on your roof and do net metering. If you want a battery backup system, it's a whole lot more, actually. It's not just, hey, let's throw some batteries in here. It's a big deal more.
Yeah, there's a control and everything. Oh, my snap. Guys, it's 11:59.
All right, go to bed, Jess. Crap.
I just want to point out what Christy says. I mean, Shawnee says, most places have solar on the ground in my town, mixed residential and commercial. I've seen solar on the ground as well. Christy says, we have 360 days of sun here. I do not have a heated pool, so solar would be good, but the resale value is a pain in my arse depending on if you rent or own. Well, we own. And Ian Weblord says, I started with a Motorola brick.
So one thing to say about what Christy said is it's a bit of a sell. And we experience this a lot doing in the solar power business. It's a bit of a sell to say, here's, if people are selling their houses, I'm selling it for this amount. By the way, there's solar on the roof. It's generating this kind of money. We're adding that into the price. And people buying the home are like, we don't care about the solar. And it's a sell job to say, oh, but yeah, but.
Yeah.
Anyway. And
that's because they're not educated, right?
They're not educated.
No.
They're not educated.
All right, folks. It's midnight. I got to go into the office and stay awake tomorrow. So I have to go to bed.
Sucks to be
What's
you.
work? What is
Right
that
now.
anyway? Yeah.
You guys are both a couple of brats. You know that?
Work?
You're both brats. You guys can stay up and, I don't know, watch Star Trek or whatever. But I'm going to bed.
I watch Lord of the Rings trilogy every night.
Every night?
Version.
I can't get those balloons to start again. I don't know what I did. That was weird. All right. Everyone, thank you for joining me late because I was late. Thank you for sticking it. There's 20 of you still sticking it out to the very end. That's amazing. I feel all like warm. Caucus of the heart, all worms and everything.
You're ending it.
I gotta go to bed. I don't want to get fired. So between now and next week, everybody, first of all, I'll come back next week. And some night soon we should probably do cabins again because I really freaking love that.
Next week we'll do cabins.
Next week? Okay. In that case, everybody come back next
stoves.
week when Russell and I do cabins and wood stoves.
Yeah.
Cabins and wood stuff.
I don't know where the wood stoves came from.
We can talk about wood stoves all night.
The thing is, I will talk about wood stoves all night because I want one. Right?
I know a lot about them now.
I took down notes about the wood stoves that you and David mentioned. That David and David checked mentioned, and I will probably look them up and dream about them all week. But anyways, between now and next week, everybody who is still here, we're down to 19 people. We lost a person. Hey, who's hating? Everyone, please. Was it Marcel?
No, I just picked Marcel.
I hope that I have at least 20 thumbs ups. By the way, otherwise.
Hey, Jess, let's be honest here. We should just do a video, not a live stream, but a video of us looking at cabins and talking about cabins.
Like an episode? Yeah.
Well, we do a video and we throw it on your channel.
We could do that. We'll talk about it this week.
I found a great Facebook chat group about log cabins. That's what it's called, log cabins. I'll send it to you.
Okay, I'll check it out.
Lots of different.
I am trying to shut down the stream.
I'm so gonna bug Jess tomorrow. Hey, you awake? You at work? Are you awake?
Huh? What? Huh? What do you mean I'm fired?
George Costanza desk cabin under your desk. You need a TARDIS under your desk.
I just need a TARDIS. I used to work with a guy. He would every afternoon take a nap under his desk right after lunch.
George Costanza.
But yes, between now and next week, for God's sakes, I got to shut this down. Everybody, please, by all means, and by any means necessary, be safe, be sane, be healthy, and be kind to one another.
And peace soup.
Peace soup.
Anything,
Ciao.